Today, we have a very special guest, video game music icon, Grant Kirkhope.
Amazing.
Can you believe it? It's amazing.
I
can't either, but we're such huge fans of Grant. He has agreed to come on the podcast today to tell us all sorts of stories about what was it like getting a call from Mr. Sakurai himself to add Banjo-Kazooie into Smash. I was there for that.
Wow.
All the work that he did when he was with Rare, the iconic music he wrote with Rare. Why he still hasn't seen the Super Mario movie.
Oh, it stings.
Oh, it stings. It had salt in the wound. And how he feels about the DK rap.
Oh my gosh.
All these years later.
That's a lot of stuff.
Amazing stuff. We're so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get into that topic of like the old Rare days because, you know, it was only about like, I think it's maybe like 10 years before you joined the company. You joined a little before I did, but it just seems like it's eons in the past.
Yeah, the golden era.
And things were happening so differently then.
Yes.
The company was run so differently. That relationship with Rare was like something that seemed so different than how Nintendo operated when we were there. And I just happened to be playing a lot of Nintendo 64 games lately, so I was like, this is what I want to talk about.
You just got your analog 64,
yes.
So you've been deep in your 64 era.
Right.
So yeah, it is an era that like I kind of skipped out on a little bit too, but there is this mystique around it, and I feel like I get a lot of FOMO when people talk about it. I'm like,
you should.
I wish that I was there for that a little bit more. I mean, I definitely played Nintendo 64, but I wasn't an owner of it. So yeah, I can't wait to hear. I'm fascinated by all this video game history stuff and Rare being in the countryside. I need to know everything. I need to know it all.
There's always a bit of FOMO when we, decide we want to contact somebody to do these interviews because there's some people we know. And some people we don't. Like we don't know Grant Kirkhope, so it was like a shot in the dark. It was like, well, go through his website, fill out a form. It's like, is he even going to see this? It's like,
he wrote back to you so fast.
He did. So that was a great relief.
And then I realized that I did know him.
I don't want to talk about that. That annoyed me. But there's always like, oh, here comes the big rejection of like, I do podcasts, but not yours, loser. There's always going to be something like that. You never.
It's a little bit of anxiety.
Yes, there is.
Your fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Everybody fears rejection.
Here it comes, the big thumbs down.
But you gotta, what do they say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Kit and Krysta, I've listened to those and they suck.
Loser. Fat Al.
So,
no, we're wieners. I mean, winners.
Yes.
Wieners.
We are.
We're wieners.
So look forward to that coming up in this episode. And we just earlier this week put out our big 2026 update talking about everything that's going on.
We did.
It's new and
Very
fresh
exciting.
and exciting for us in this year. Hope you've checked it out. If not, please take a look. Some exciting things are happening that are already like underway.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard, Patreon is getting Nintendo Storytime exclusively from here on out. You used to hear that in this podcast, but last year we just had
we did none.
it got bumped from this podcast in a lot of ways of like there was just not a good place for it in an ongoing basis.
Right.
So rather than like we want to keep doing it, we've still got hundreds of these stories. We found a new home for it.
We did.
On Patreon.
And frankly, we would put them into these podcasts and we would promote them as part of this podcast.
Right.
But the interest was very low.
Yeah, and more
for some reason.
And more, they just felt a little bit out of place in a lot of the places we were putting it. So
YouTube did not like these.
No, I think we found a wonderful home for it. So the first one that's exclusive on Patreon, it's out now.
Yes.
And it's all about how Fire Emblem Awakening came to the North American audience and got revealed in this extremely dramatic way.
Yes.
Involving a hero moment by Reggie. Some really
botched E3 event that went down in flames. And all the drama surrounding it. And even for us, looking back and reliving and retelling the story was so interesting and so fun because we ourselves forgot some of the dramatic moments. We looked back and we were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened to us. It was crazy. So we're so excited that we were able to shadow drop that in our 2026 update video, and our wonderful Patreon subscribers at the $5 tier can get those exclusively now.
Guess what? That just so happens to be the free trial tier. So
there you go.
If you want to use a free trial and see what that's all about, see what those look like over there, go for it. We've also got this great sale that's going on through the end of January where on the $5 and $10 tiers you can get 25% off through the end of the month. Just use code Kit and Krysta when you are signing up to get that. That's a nice way to get started.
Yeah. And we, since we've launched our 2026 update video, we've just seen so many people, such a great
feedback,
outpouring of support from our wonderful community. So many new people joined us on Patreon, so thank you so much. You are the reason why we can continue to do this. You are the only reason why we can continue to keep this channel going. So your support, even a few dollars, means the world to us. So, and we're just so excited to have new friends. People are in the Discord. The introductions channel is popping off. Our mods are very busy.
Yes, we have new names for you to botch in the One Up Club.
We have
Shout
new
outs.
names for me to potentially mispronounce. We're so excited to have all of you. So thank you so much, and welcome to our wonderful community.
Something that, let's see, by the time this podcast is out, this should also be out as well.
Correct.
On our YouTube channel, the Animal Crossing 3.0 big update.
That's right, big update.
The Switch 2 edition, those are out. So we're going to be doing a first look at everything that is new, everything that has been added, because it's been a good while since we have been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons.
It's been a long time.
And
what?
You were about to say?
I was going to say, we're going to do these in the fun Nintendo Minute style of yore.
Yes.
Hopefully you're nostalgic for it, because I'm certainly nostalgic for it. This was like what we were doing in the pandemic, where we couldn't shoot videos in person, so we would do them in Animal Crossing. I did build a Kit and Krysta studio set.
So you didn't have that?
I did have it, but I updated it.
You had to update it?
Yeah.
And you still have the Nintendo... I ask you this every time. You still have that?
Yes.
Okay, because I have that as well, but I think ours, there may be some slight differences.
It's very similar.
Yes.
Anyways.
I don't think you should get rid of
the
that.
house, the rooms in my house.
Were you thinking about getting rid of that?
A little bit. Wipe
Why?
it. Rossetti's coming to wipe.
No.
Wipe that.
You can't do that.
Wipe a clean slate. No, just kidding. I won't do that. That's so mean. That's part of our history.
That's history.
It's history. But yes, we'll be doing it completely inside Animal Crossing. So you see our cute little characters in our cute little studio, and we're just gonna experience it. How everyone experienced it for the first time. So we don't know what's gonna be available and what's gonna be live at that point, but it should be fun. I'm laughing.
I'm just hoping that it's not one of these things where it's like, hey, welcome to the update. All right, you triggered this thing, come back in a day. Everything will be back tomorrow.
Shortest video
wait,
ever.
I can't do anything.
But I need to do some stuff.
First order of business, push the button on all those flowers. Go away. Psh, goodbye.
Push the button on the weeds.
No, well, you can do that, not me.
I'm going to go into your island and push your button on the weeds.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Really?
You can't push other people's buttons on their islands.
Why not?
No. Nintendo was right about that. Troublemakers about, like you.
People just go to people's island and cut down their trees. That's so mean. Do you remember that? That was like some vagrant, gangster stuff.
I'm getting raided on my island.
You get raided. Your trees all your fruit trees get cut down. You people steal your fruit. So mean.
Oh man. I am really curious to see, for us, what is the longevity of this game?
I know, right?
Now again.
Yeah, again, once more.
I mean, maybe a lot of it will come down to what is the volume and the depth of this new stuff that they add.
Seriously, most importantly is how fast is those load times? How fast is it for me to get to your island?
That's true.
Because that was
That's true.
3-5 minutes of me dodo airlining one island to the next.
Right.
I need it to be snappier.
And who knows? I mean, if Animal Crossing becomes this big cultural phenomenon again somehow, then I think that'll give us all a push to spend more time in there.
That's pretty tough.
But I don't know.
Tough hill.
Yeah, I literally don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're also doing our One Up Club meetup in Animal Crossing this month because we want to check it out with our community and we want to build one of those dream islands together. So that will be fun for us to check out because that's something that in the update that we're both pretty interested in. But you do need kind of a lot of people toiling away to make a thing.
Many hands make light work.
That's right.
But we were watching that
video again?
clip in the video again, and we were saying you might need somebody to be in charge of all right, you do this, now you do this, because there was just it was pretty chaotic.
You need a construction...
A foreman or something.
Yes, that's what it's called, a foreman. You need a foreman.
Right.
To be you go dig a waterfall, you go plant trees over here. Right. Or as it could be chaos.
You might need that.
It's you dig a hole and someone fills it.
Exactly,
you dig a hole and someone fills it.
It could happen.
I'm pretty excited about it, though. It should be really fun.
Yes. All right, let's get into this here episode, and we're going to start with the news.
Yes.
And this is a massive news section that we have.
A lot of stuff happened.
So settle in. There's been a lot going on.
Let's get into this.
Late last week, there was a report from the game business, which was kind of like the first story on the results of the Switch 2 holiday sales.
Yes.
A lot of that data, as of now, we are still waiting for a lot of that, but somehow the game business got their hands on some of it. And they painted a picture that was not entirely positive. Before the break, we did a video talking about just this pervasive feeling that it's like, it seems like Switch 2 is doing okay, but it's not like setting the world on fire in terms of these holiday sales.
And also, it was like not just Nintendo. It was like all across the board. Video games as an industry was significantly down.
Yeah.
So Switch 2 is in a landscape of other challenging things, obviously. But yeah, from Nintendo's perspective, obviously you don't want the first holiday for your like new hardware to have any sort of negativity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did see this data from the game business saying that sales were down over the holiday period, 35% compared to Switch 1 in the same period in 2017. Yep. Yeah. So Switch 1 compared to Switch 1, November and December, Switch 2 sales were down 35%. Which is kind of significant.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a small number.
Right. And then they did go on to say, like, in Japan, the situation's different.
Yeah.
The numbers are largely up in Japan.
A lot cheaper in Japan.
It is cheaper.
They didn't have a chance to get the system in Japan at launch because of their shortages
They're
there.
still constrained, yes.
They were constrained there, so they probably had a bigger audience.
Pent-up audience.
People waiting. Exactly. For it to come into stock, because they were on the lottery system throughout the entirety of the summer and fall, I believe, in Japan.
Yeah.
Even like, big name people, like I think Kami had tweeted, he was like, I didn't get one until like a week ago because I've been in the lottery. So that could contribute to the higher sales in Japan. But yeah, in the US and I think Europe as well, it's not as positive.
The story was mainly focused on Europe, which is obviously not our main market here, but there was some interesting stuff from the US. There were some interesting quirks about this story where he was saying like, well, some of this data came from Circana, and then Circana came out and they're like, we haven't released any data for this period, so what are you talking about?
But this is a pretty reputable outlet,
I don't know.
So I'm curious as to where they, maybe there's a backdoor data.
I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't
drama.
know. I also got
back alley data.
I also got this interesting quote. I mean, it's fascinating to ever get a quote from anybody at Nintendo. This is a quote, senior Nintendo employee, so unnamed, faceless, nameless, said that there was a complicated economic landscape.
Sure.
The absence of a major Western game, but overall they were proud of what they accomplished during a tricky year. I guess Metroid is no longer a major Western game. Is that the conclusion?
What about Pokemon?
I mean, that's just a major worldwide game.
Yeah.
What does that mean, major Western game?
Well, other Western games are major.
You got Fortnite 24/7 on this thing.
Yeah, but what would be considered a major Western game?
I don't know. This is such.
You tell me.
This is just like
gibberish.
I'm in a meeting. I'm being asked what the problem was. I'm just trying to say something.
I'm in a meeting or I'm at the pub.
Right. I mean, this was at the pub.
Yeah.
But we used to get this stuff, like this would happen to us all the time. Of like, well, what's your hypothesis for why?
What's your hypothesis?
For why the sales didn't meet the forecast? It's like, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Hard to say.
Right, there's a million reasons.
A million factors that can contribute to this.
No, this is definitely...
I was going to say, this is like an unofficial...
This is the back room of the pub.
Someone was eating a fish and chip and drinking a pint.
Nintendo of Europe strikes again. Yes.
Yeah, someone drank one too many pints and lips got loose. No? Yes.
That's where Chris Drink's getting the scoops.
Chris Drink.
Yes. I know on VGC at where was it? It was at the Game Awards. They were wearing shirts that said Chris Drink. I was like, wait, is this his alter ego?
Is that where he's getting the scoops?
He's wearing like a mask, like the hamburger, hanging out of the pub getting scoops.
He's wearing beer goggles, and he's at the pub getting the scoop from like drunken NOE employees. No, actually, this is not a bad strategy.
Lunchtime.
It's like what? It's like
liquid lunch at the pub.
10:45
with the marketing squad from Nintendo UK.
No, I'm serious. This is a pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
people.
Oi, lads.
People get loosened up.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. The little liquid.
You wanted to talk about this little fact here.
What little fact?
This.
Oh yeah, I do want to talk about this little fact. So at the very end of this article by the Game Business, they had this very interesting sentence that was, Nintendo's biggest release for the first half of 2026 is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I found to be an interesting thing to say because...
Are you sure it's bigger than Yoshi and the Mysterious Book?
No, I'm not sure.
Are you sure?
I don't know anything about Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. That could just
blow
us all away,
yeah.
But one would think that Nintendo's biggest release for any year would be a video game.
Right.
But this is kind of the stuff that we were thinking about, talking about, watching happen in real time, especially during the years of like 2024 to 2025, and then now even more, is like they're really not just a video game company, obviously. They're very, very much invested in all this entertainment stuff. And yeah, could it be that Nintendo's biggest thing is no longer a video game? Could it be that it's a movie instead? It certainly won't be making a lot of money for them. So if you're comparing like dollars, is this going to sell? Is the Mario Galaxy movie going to make more money for them than Yoshi and the Mysterious Book?
It might.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just found that to be fascinating. That it's like, I think this is the first time I've seen this said, where it's like their biggest release of this year is not a game. It's actually this entertainment piece. So I don't know. I just found that to be really interesting.
Yeah, times are changing. There was a good comment on that video that we did before the holiday break. There was just like very, very plainly like, people are broke,
Yeah.
And it's just like there's just economic difficulties all around everywhere
Watching
you look.
a movie certainly is cheaper than buying a Switch 2.
Yes. Although that's becoming very expensive as well.
But it's like a $20 ticket versus a $450 piece of hardware.
Yes.
So if you're thinking like, I want to still do a Nintendo thing, but I can't afford to do some of those other things, your way in is this other, is something else now.
Right.
It's definitely not just, your way in is just not, video games might not be possible because you're broke.
Right. So we'll wait to see what the official Circana data is, all the other kind of sources on that.
Very interesting.
Nintendo didn't do any sort of big momentum announcement coming out of the holidays.
No, they did not do that.
Anything.
Yeah, they've been very quiet actually.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to see their earnings very soon in that March.
You staying up all night for that?
Oh,
you pulling an all-nighter?
I'm going to be tapping my foot, drinking some sake.
Refreshing that IR site?
Waiting patiently for Mr. Furukawa to come out and do a thing. Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, very, very fascinating stuff to watch. And all of these are breadcrumbs into what is the future, the longevity, the long-term plan for this hardware. So we'll be here to watch and see.
You see the Nintendo stocks in the turlet this morning? You see that?
Oh, I did see that.
Back to being doomed? Are we back? We're so back to being doomed. Great.
I don't know.
Perfect.
I don't have any
This
stuff.
next story is a bummer for me, personally.
Oh, this is so tough.
Because, so this is about Baldur's Gate 3 on the Switch 2, which is a game that for a long time I have had in my predictions of like, this is this is one of many games that seems like it should be coming onto Switch 2, but it seems like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and for a reason that's really unfortunate, because it's really about, it's not that Larian doesn't want to bring it to Switch 2. They obviously want to, but I guess they have this really complicated relationship between, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast have a very unhealthy relationship, according to Nate the Hate, and that's why they can't figure out a way to bring it to Switch 2.
Yeah, so Sven at Larian, who's the head of that studio, did an AMA. I think it was mostly about like addressing all of their like AI stuff.
Yeah.
But the question came up. Somebody said, Baldur's Gate 3 for Switch 2, is it even possible? And he just point blank said, we would have loved to, but it wasn't our decision to make. Bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I hate it when this happens, when like the business gets in the way of something cool, like bringing this to another huge audience that would maybe not have experienced this game and would love it.
I mean, it seems like it would be a big sales hit, but yeah, I think pretty soon after that game came out, they were indicating like, yeah, our next game's not going to be another Baldur's Gate thing. It's going to be something original. Just kind of indicating that relationship had run its course, and I guess hearing more and more that maybe that relationship was not the most healthy thing in the first place.
This is what happens when these big IP holders with a lot of like power brands, like they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like they don't care. Like it's like in that situation, it's like Hasbro has a lot of power, and they can just like force you to do whatever they want, and you can't do anything about it. And like if you don't play by their rules, they're just going to say no, which is really unfortunate, which I think is probably like part of the reason they're like, well, you're forcing our hand and we don't like this,
I wonder if this would not be good, and I'm not advocating for this, but could Hasbro do some like power play where it's like, okay, fine, you don't want to do it? We're going to find some new studio who does. So hand over all your code because they're going to be porting the game to the Switch too.
What's the ownership like?
They own Dungeons and Dragons, which is Baldur's Gate. I imagine they own this game.
That's so crazy. That's so scary.
I mean, that's what used to happen all the time in the old days. All right, we saw that in the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, in the documentary. Yes.
Like, all right, we need Mortal Kombat on consoles. Let's hire a guy to do it. And it was not like Ed Boon, sitting down and cranking out some code. It was like, no, we entrusted it to this guy to do this version. Hopefully it doesn't suck. Sometimes it did.
Sometimes it does, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see less of that now because these games are so complicated. But I wonder if they were just like, we've got to do this.
That's what I'm saying. These brands, they hold the cards and they can do what they want. If you want to license their IP, but you can to your own, at your own risk.
Right.
Because they could just take it back or make you do it a different way if you don't like it. And then you're stuck.
It's a bummer. This was my game of the year in 2020.
Yeah, you love this game.
I already bought this game twice. I'd be glad, and I would have been so glad to triple
Switch.
Dip on Switch too. I have it on PS5.
That's a huge loss in terms of expanding that audience to people that would play this game.
Yeah, and the reason I thought it would happen was that the older Divinity games from Larian are on original Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, all right, they have some experience. They seem to understand the point of having their games on that platform. But in this case, it's
completely out of their hands.
There's another party who gets the final say. So
too bad.
Just a bummer.
Really.
Just
a bummer.
Just a bummer.
Yeah.
Next story. It's a bummer to some people here. The Pokemon Legos have been revealed. They are coming out on Pokemon Day.
So the anniversary. First.
That's Pokemon
First
Day.
of many anniversary celebratory thingies that Pokemon is doing.
Excuse me. They already announced a Happy Meal.
First of many.
It's not the first if they've already announced a Happy Meal.
The many is the Happy Meal.
It's not the first. So there's three sets that are coming. There's a Pikachu, an Eevee, and kind of a big trio of Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. Mm-hmm. And we already knew that this Pokemon Lego thing was happening.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what the sets were, and we didn't know what the prices were.
Yeah.
As well. So now we know what the three sets are. The surprising thing, or maybe not surprising, I don't know. These prices are like bonkers. So that triple Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise is $650.
Oh my gosh.
What? This Pikachu and Pokeball set is $200, and Lil Eevee is $60.
Eevee is the cheapest one.
Oh my gosh.
Eevee is the cutest one.
I don't know. Like, I maybe they had this somewhere. I didn't see it. Like, what is the dimensions, the size? Like, I guess we have this photo of this guy.
This photo of this guy that looks AI to me.
Looking longingly at his Charizard.
He's like staring at Charizard's butt in a weird way.
But I don't know. Like, I had a tweet that went kind of viral because I was just like, why does the Eevee one look way better than the Pikachu that's $200?
The Eevee one has the cuter face. The Pikachu face looks weird.
It does. It's like around the cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, it's just hard when it's square and you want to make it round.
Some big league chew or something, you know?
Well, it's really hard when square things become round things, you know? I guess Pikachu is on like a little stand. There's like extra...
that's where the $140
I don't know. I would never buy this.
That's where it went.
This is very expensive.
These are all rated, for 18+, which means they're complicated.
So not for kids.
the Venusaur Charizard Blastoise one has over 6,000, almost 7,000 pieces.
That one looks complicated.
The Pikachu is 2,000 pieces, and the Eevee is almost 600 pieces. So significantly fewer pieces for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the price. And again, I wonder, like, is that thing just kind of tiny in comparison to some of these others?
Yeah, we don't have dimensions for the Eevee.
People have pointed out, though, that these designs are very similar to some of the existing products that they have with Mega Blocks.
Yes.
Like, this Pikachu looks extremely similar.
Yeah.
There's an Eevee that looks very similar. I don't think they have this other one with the 3 starters. But it's like, wow, you didn't really even try to come up with something new. They have a Mega Block of a Machamp. Did you know that?
Did you buy it?
I've thought about it. I don't like Legos.
Wait, you bought me a Togepi, but that's not a Mega Block. Was that a Mega Block?
That's something I got in Japan or something, yeah.
That one's cool, too.
Okay.
That was very fun.
I don't think
and
that,
it was not $600, I
no,
assume.
I think that's neither. I think that's neither a Lego nor a Mega Block or something.
But it's like these things exist, though, out there.
Yeah.
You can get, like, a Lego-style Pokemon thing if you wanted to. Yeah, I mean, this is certainly a collector's item. If you're into Legos and you love Pokemon, this is certainly a cool collector's item for you. You and I are both not super into Legos, but yeah, if you are a collector, I mean, I think these are cool, especially the one with the 3 starters, but they're very expensive. I mean, $650 is a lot of money.
There was also something, I forget, there was like a badge set, and then there was a Pokemon Center, and I can't recall, one of those is like only available like when you buy something else, like you can't buy it as a standalone, and they were like, oh, these are already getting scalped online. It's like,
oh my gosh, here we go.
Here we go with the Pokemon stuff getting scalped.
It's like they want that culture, which is like very discouraging because I can just see the
it
fist.
Sucks.
It's going to be fist fights at the Costco all over again.
I have zero interest in buying any of these because again, I don't like Legos, but I just think it sucks that they're just everything Pokemon is just like crazy, like priced out or unavailable or only available through a scalper. Did you watch the video that they had for this?
Yeah.
Just like so cynically targeting like, hey, you're a 40-year-old guy with money, come buy this.
I know, it's true. It's a little gross, right?
It was one of the more like unappealing videos.
Usually they make like cute like little nostalgic videos with some kid, but I mean this is 18 plus, so they really can't.
Hey, let's get down to business. Give us the money.
Yeah.
You know?
We know you have the money.
Hey, loser.
We know you pay for this, you disgusting loser. We don't care. We don't care about your moral compass or your pride or your self-worth. Just buy these Legos for $650.
That's just like this trend that like becomes more and more clear is like the things that you think
are for kids
are actually for adults, and kids are caught up in some weird thing that you probably wouldn't even imagine. Like
I know,
some
that's so
Roblox
true.
Thing or some brain rot or something
something
like that. It's like something you probably don't even know about. You're like, oh, look at these cute Legos. I'm sure the kids would love to do those. But but it's $700 and you needed to scalp it and you needed to meet a guy in the parking lot of the McDonald's to get it.
Yeah.
You know?
You have like a very inaccurate vision of like, oh, a mom is gonna do this with her kid and teach the kid about the joy of Pokemon. But it's like that's so not the case.
No.
And it's like one of those things where
So they've done a great job of cashing in on this audience, and I do mean cashing in. But, they're kind of back. I do wonder about that question that we struggled with when we were there, which is like, how are we bringing in the new generation of fans? Because I think if you're a kid, like, it's like, oh, if something is out of reach, like, I think it's just like, oh, I have a million other things I could do. I'm just going to choose not to care.
Yeah, I pay $1.
Right. It's not like I'm gonna do so many. I'm gonna go mow some lawns and save up $700 to buy a Lego. It's like no, I got so many other things to do. I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah, and it also seems like they know that their audience is not kids anymore too, so they're just like doubling down on it. So,
I mean, at some point,
you're
gonna
need to get some new fans.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an interesting interesting choice for them to make.
Right. So, speaking of games potentially coming, there's been a lot of stories like this lately. Remember,
people have data mined some stuff.
We did the Monster Hunter Wilds one the other week. We did, what was it, Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
There's now potentially another big series that seems to be on the way to the Switch 2, and it's Call of Duty.
Whoa.
COD!
COD.
Wow.
COD Blops or just COD?
Well, I don't think we know it.
We don't know the blops.
People did some back to the data mining.
I don't know what this means. What do these numbers mean? Nintendo equals 6?
So they did data mining on this Call of Duty launcher. And so now there's like references to all of the different platforms that Call of Duty is available on.
I see.
And previously there was not a Nintendo line, and now there is. It is the 6th platform family. Because like you got Steam, Battle.net, Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft Connect.
Okay,
and then,
I understand.
And then Nintendo. So that was not there before. There have been other, whispers. This person, Jez Corden from Windows Central, who's kind of a Microsoft insider, had this tweet saying the first Call of Duty Switch version is nearly done and launching in a few months.
Oh, would this be in the next Direct, maybe?
And again, like we don't know what that game would be. I guess there's certainly a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
It's not a complete surprise though, because this is something that Microsoft did have to commit to when they were doing the acquisition of all of this. Of like, we'll put these games on
other platforms.
Everywhere.
Exactly, that was the law.
And a lot of people have pointed out the same thing that we were talking out of, like, hey, they probably weren't getting a dev kit right away, due to concerns over like confidentiality.
Yeah.
But now seems like it's on the way.
Well, that's what we were saying too. Like this year should be the year that more Microsoft things are coming to Switch too.
Yes.
Like we've already gotten Indiana Jones. That's confirmed. But there's no reason not to if you want to make some money, which they seem to need. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this happened.
Yeah, I think the question is just like which one
and when.
So there was the one that came out last year, November or something, that people didn't seem to like.
That one didn't pop off as much as the one that came out the year
before.
before.
And they had to discount that pretty quickly, and it seemed like that was maybe like a misfire. But then
the one before was good.
We played that one. We liked that one.
Was that 6?
But again, like
that was good.
No, Call of Duty hasn't been on a Nintendo platform in a while, so you can kind of pick and choose.
Or you can do like a collection or something like that.
Sure.
Like a whatever, little exclusive 3-pack or something.
I'm sure
like
eventually they'll saturate it and get as many out there as they can.
I mean,
but
you might as well.
It's kind of an interesting exercise of like, all right, if you had to introduce Call of Duty to a new platform,
which one would you choose?
And you got all these games from the last 10 years. 10 years.
Which is the best one?
Which one would you?
3?
Which one would you go with? I don't know.
3 is not bad.
Seeing as we have equally played one over the last 10 years, maybe we're not equipped to answer.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
But I did like 6.
Great. COD Blob 6.
COD Blob 6 was really fun.
Great.
I really liked that single player campaign.
You stand on business for COD Blob 6. Great.
I do.
More Xbox news.
Yes.
They are doing their annual developer direct. They usually do these around the start of the year. This is no different. It is coming January 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific. We are getting an exclusive look at Fable, Forza Horizon 6, and Beast of Reincarnation.
That's that Game Freak game, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
That Game Freak joint.
That.
Yes, it is.
Does that look like Power World to you?
There was a trailer for this.
I'm looking at this tiny
There was a trailer
picture.
for this in their last, or one of their recent showcases.
This looks kind of cute. It's like Monster Hunter-y, a little like, they got the old fluffy white dog in this photo. I like this.
It looked interesting. I think that's one of those things where I believe they're working with some like outsourced developers as well. It's like kind of them in partnership with some other studios as well. It's interesting to see because those developer directs, it's often like, hey, we're getting that exclusive insider access. It's like, are they going inside? Is Xbox going inside Game Freak and filming before Nintendo does?
Oh my gosh, that would be so hilarious.
It's ridiculous.
That would be hilarious. They should.
I think they're gonna. I think
God,
that's the whole deal of these.
That's amazing.
That's the whole deal of
That's
these.
actually amazing.
Yes.
I did not even think about that, but I love it.
Can you imagine the fire drill of like, oh my God,
hide the things!
Hide the Pokemon, hide the whatever.
Oh my God, lock your drawers, hide your kids, hide your wife.
That's a good reality check for them, honestly.
I mean, truly.
That's a good reality check.
Yeah, it's like, guess what?
This is like Sakurai with his YouTube channel. It's a good reality. It's a good wake-up call.
Guess what? This is how the world operates.
Yeah.
Get with
People
it
are doing
or
these things.
be
left behind.
Get with it or be okay with it.
Yeah.
There's no other
no
option for
choice.
you. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited about Fable. I want to see it.
Well, it's very bittersweet for us about Fable because we are now no longer Game Pass subscribers.
I'm gonna buy this.
I finally did that over the holiday break.
Doesn't mean you can't buy this game.
On a PlayStation 5? Can I do that?
let's see.
I would love to do that.
This is probably not going to be on a PlayStation 5 right away.
Okay.
You might have, if you want to play it right away, it might not be on PlayStation 5.
I'll look forward to the details. I mean, there's also the big question of like, is this game any good? It's
true.
It's with a new developer. We've seen very little like bits and pieces.
We've seen very little actual gameplay
over the years.
We've seen some cutscenes. We've seen some funny little trailers, but we've not seen actual gameplay.
A real slow roll.
But this is one of our favorite games of your
franchises. Yes.
Yeah.
Of your being the key word.
The key word is
it's been a while. It has been
of yonder
a while.
times.
Yeah.
We connected as friends for the first time through this game.
A long time ago.
And that was a long time ago when I first met you, and we were working at Nintendo, and I didn't know anything about you, and we were like, it was like, get to know this new person that just joined the team. We started talking about Fable because we were both playing Fable. And I was like, oh, you like that game too? That's cool. And then that's where we like started to become friends.
Talking about how
remember that.
These new Fable games are actually better than these new Zelda games.
I didn't say that.
That's how I was feeling at that time.
You were?
And pre Breath of the Wild.
You didn't say that to me.
Well, I knew you liked Twilight Princess, so.
You didn't want to get on my bad side right away?
There was no point in having that conversation.
You're like, I better tread lightly with this one. She might like rage at me.
Talk to a brick wall and share that with you.
Excuse you. We had a great connection as friends through Fable.
This Forza game looks cool too. I mean, this one's set in Japan, so there's some interesting stuff they can do with that location. Yeah. It is the same studio that's making both of these games.
That's right. Playground Games, yeah.
There is some scuttlebutt about there being a secret fourth game, which is something they typically do. They'll often have like, and here's one more thing.
What is the one more thing?
I don't have a clue.
Do we have a clue?
No. I don't. Actually, I think there was some rumor that it's like, I think they said it's a smaller game from a first-party studio.
That's good.
Pentiment 2. Here we go. Confirmed.
Oh, I love this.
Lock it in.
It's just for me.
You might literally be the only person who plays
it. It's like the developer is like, Dear Krista, we made Pentiment 2 for you. Here's the game. Thank you very much for being here. It's like, oh, great, thanks. I love that game. I love it. I want more people to play it. I mean, give me another one. I would love
These developer directs are really good.
They're very good.
They've done enough of these that they could iterate on the formula. I remember last year they had Clair Obscur before Clair Obscur was the breakaway Game of the Year hit.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that in January, February, whenever they did that, and thinking like, hey, this game looks pretty good. And oh wow, they're like developing this game in some castle or chateau or something. That's interesting. And then the game came out and it became this huge thing. And I went back and watched it again. I was like, I get it now. I have a new layer of appreciation.
There could be a hidden hit.
Yeah.
You don't know. In here. Do you think they'll have any news in here about like games coming to Switch 2, or is it more so just focused on the developers? Probably focused on the developers, huh?
I think for these games they have just a lot of like details on here's what the game is. And once the dust is settled on that, they can start to talk through the launch details.
That's why this timing works for them, because if there is a direct in like February, they would have gotten through all this stuff in theirs first.
Yeah.
And then they can use the Nintendo Direct to announce like anything coming to Switch 2. So they they could have been first with their the Xbox side of things.
Yeah.
Which is
did you see that? So Avowed was one of their games from last year.
Yeah.
That's coming to PS5 but not Switch 2.
I saw
they
that.
announced, which I was like,
I saw that.
I kind of would have liked to have played a bit more of that on a Switch too. I like that game.
That game, you said
good.
it was like really beautiful.
That game was really good.
Is South of Midnight coming to Switch too?
Yes.
They did announce
that got confirmed at the Game Awards.
That's right.
But Avowed, I thought they could have pulled that off. So I was.
Yeah, that's a little surprising. That's a little surprising.
Surprised by that. Let's take a question from our Patreon community before we move on. This is from Francisca. Happy New Year to you too. I just watched and really enjoyed the video on games coming to Switch 2 early this year. Last year I was thrown off for a spin when Nintendo announced Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment for winter 2025 and then released it in early November, which is still in the fall. I've seen this sometimes happen elsewhere with winter sales happening in fall and spring sales happening in winter. I feel like we're all questioning, like you, whether Tomodachi Life and the Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder are coming in late winter or rather in the actual spring. When you were working at Nintendo, how well did Nintendo's seasons align with the actual seasons? Was that similar to what happened in other places you've worked at? I wonder if there were changes of plans for Age of Imprisonment or if seasons have just become vibes. Well, let's consult our Farmer's Almanac to get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nintendo is pretty cut and dry on the seasons. It was like 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months.
Starting when?
So JFM.
No, what's the exact date?
Oh.
The season... Animal Crossing is the way you know.
Animal Crossing is the way you know.
That's how you actually know.
I know, right?
How does Nintendo define a season? Play Animal Crossing.
Play Animal Crossing. Yeah. When the spring is spring in Animal Crossing,
right.
then it's spring.
Exactly.
At Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, them going with a season is code for we don't know.
We don't know yet.
And we're buying ourselves some flexibility.
And they also know that when you say something very generic or very like loosey-goosey, like winter, they can, slide into spring, like early spring if they need to.
Oh, we
or release it earlier if they need to.
winter in the southern hemisphere. You silly goose.
I didn't know you were not on New Zealand time. Sorry. This game's coming out like next April. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
winter.
When you pick a date and then if you have to delay it, that's always seen as a negative versus giving a more vague time frame and letting things work out. And in the case of Hyrule Warriors, it was pretty easy to tell, that's kind of the flex game that could get some movement based on what happens with everything else. And there ended up being a lot of reshuffling of everything that was happening with all of those games. Because remember, we had that very awkward stretch in the summer where nothing had a release date.
And remember, we saw the Hyrule Warriors trailer 3 times without a
release date.
Without a release date. And that's actually pretty rare for Nintendo because usually you show a teaser trailer. This is what they do. They show a teaser trailer, and then they show a little bit longer trailer with a time frame. So spring, winter, fall, summer, whatever. And then they'll show you the date announcement trailer. And then they'll probably do an overview trailer.
Yeah.
And then they'll do the launch trailer.
Right.
So those are the things that you always get, and that's what they do. But you can totally tell. You can smell the disorganization, and I don't think it was just Hyrule Warriors that was getting the shuffle. It was every game was swirling.
Yes.
I think they were also concerned about Metroid at that time because that didn't get a date for so long. So they were like, well, where do we put Metroid? Where do we put Hyrule Warriors? Where do we put Kirby? Where do we put... Pokemon's probably the one that was most firm. But all the other ones around it, they were like, where are we Tetrising these things? And that's probably why they went with generic winter and shifted it to November when they figured out okay, Metroid's not going to make it. You guys got to go first, and then we'll put Metroid in December. I think that's what happened. So that's very, very typical of them. But we were talking about it last year. We were like, there's something weird going on because they're not announcing any of these launch dates, and it's been several directs later, and we didn't see anything. And we're like, something's wrong.
Yeah. And going with a season like this does give you the more flexibility because, like we were saying, most people don't know the exact start and end. It's just it's getting warmer. It's becoming spring.
I know. Yeah, the rain stopped.
Right. So it's just kind of a vague feeling. So it's this buys us a bit more time. But with them, they can do anything they want. They can communicate one thing. They have the right to change their mind. They don't have to be committed to that. So just stay on your toes. That's all. That's all. One more question from Jean-Marc D. How much corporate jargon was at Nintendo and in the gaming industry? Do they circle back, touch base, take things offline, pick low-hanging fruit, and get easy wins?
Yes to all of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think
This was so bad.
It was so bad.
Awful.
But I don't think it's just Nintendo. I think this is just corporate
I'll bet if you're at Microsoft.
Culture.
I'll bet if you're at Xbox it is.
You don't think that they don't have this at Xbox?
I'll bet they do. What are you saying?
I'm saying that every company has this, not just Nintendo. Every corporation uses this terrible jargon.
The more corporate you get, though, the more jargony it's going to get.
I think it's different kinds of jargon. It's just, but it's still just stupid work jargon.
Right.
But it is. In a meeting, there's always what is the low-hanging fruit?
That's why
yes. At Nintendo, so many acronyms.
Yes.
And we needed a glossary of terms because it was the medical dictionary.
Right.
It was so many acronyms. I was like, what does this mean? It was very silly.
It's been many years since we left, but we still love and share if we come across a TikTok of somebody doing a reenactment of some awful jargon or some corporate scenario. It's oh my god, this was our life.
There's one that I love that we keep sending to each other where it's that woman's okay, first we're preparing for Q1, but being ready and warming up for Q2, and then we're also in Q1 doing the PDCA for Q3, and then for Q4 we're just all hands on deck on Q3, and then but that is the meeting. That is literally the meeting every day for 8 hours a day.
It seems to be a huge category of just social video because I think there's just a lot of people who are just
Traumatized.
traumatized by this.
We're all
living
traumatized.
It day in and day out.
And then we also have like a lot of insider jokes because not only do people have corporate jargon like in meetings and in like speaking things, but we used to do a lot of like document review, like where you have a press release and then you send it around to everybody to review and they mark it up with edits. But we used to have like these stupid corporate jargon that would like seep into document review. Like we had this one boss that would always write awk. Like he would abbreviate the word awkward, but it was like all caps, AWK with a period.
Couldn't be bothered.
And it was like, he's trying to tell you that the sentence is awkward.
Yeah.
So we say that to each other. We're like, oh, that's very awk-dot.
Oh, yeah. Like there was a guy who also would end his emails with thanks, but it was THKS. Again, he couldn't be bothered to spell a vowel. So now, like, if you send me a text message and I want to trigger you, I'll just respond with THKS.
You do. You do. It's really annoying. It's very annoying.
And a thumbs up emoji. Maybe.
A thumbs up emoji. I'm like, here's a thumbnail. Do you like it? Thanks.
Yes. The thing that is concerning about this is like it does work on some people. Some people are like, that person's on top of it. Oh my gosh, that person really knows their stuff. So like there are people who really are like masters of this, and there was the person who was like the first person to lead social at Nintendo. She was the master of this.
So good at this.
She was fluent in jargon. And she would just be like, the team's been spending a lot of time optimizing. It's like, what exactly optimizing what? What do you mean? It was just, we're really focused on optimization right now. Yeah. It's like, well, that sounds great, but I don't have a clue what you actually
She would go in to present to executives like Reggie and stuff.
They ate this up.
And then she would like, it was like magic. She would like,
it's another language.
She would like razzle-dazzle them with the jargon. And at the end of it, they were like, approved.
No questions.
Approved.
Because they didn't understand.
And then like, no, but then like a day later, they would ask like follow-up questions to like somebody else and no one could answer the I was like, I don't know what she said. I don't know what the optimization is. I don't know what the standardized data collection is. I don't know. I have no idea. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, we're running a pilot program. It's like,
for what?
What does this mean?
And how?
What do you mean? It's like, if you can just come up with a new way of saying, this is marketing, I guess, come up with a new way of saying something that is like actually not old hat. It's like, oh, wow, this is a fresh new look at things. Oh, wow.
The most valuable...
Got some big thinkers here.
The most valuable thing is those, like, marketing TikToks where they're like, yeah, this is how you do it. You literally just come up, you rebrand it, like, a million times a day, you know? But it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's the same, you're saying the same thing, which is nothing.
There's the one that's like, my boss asked me if I was AI forward, and I told him, yes, we did this, but I was just using, like, our company's spam filter that we've had for a decade.
Exactly.
Like, oh, my God.
I wonder what that's like now with the AI creep in offices, because I wonder if it made it exponentially worse than when we were there, because we didn't really have that kind of culture when we were there. No. We didn't have, all the chat GPTs and all that stuff, so... Yeah, I bet it's even worse now. But yes, it was terrible at Nintendo, and you did have to be kind of fluent in jargon to get your way through a meeting and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it at all.
It's weird. It's like, why can't we just talk normally?
I don't know.
Why did we all agree to do this weird song and dance?
And if you did
that we all hate.
If you did talk normally, people thought you were stupid.
Yeah.
People would think like you weren't professional or you didn't have the strategic thinking. That was a lot of there was a lot of discussion about like you need to be a strategic thinker. I am. I'm literally telling you, but you need me to tell you in these other words to prove to you that I'm a strategic thinker? Like I don't understand.
Pretty strange stuff.
It was very strange.
We'll be back with more Patreon questions in a bit, but first let's move on to the games we are playing, where you are having a moment with Ghost of Yotei.
Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I think this is better than Ghost of Tsushima.
All right.
This is so good. Now I'm kicking myself hardcore because I didn't play enough of this game last year. And I was busy with other games. Is that?
Look in the mirror.
Metroid Prime 4's fault, actually.
This game came out well before then.
No, but it was like, there was a lot of things to do. Right. Anyways, what game was I playing instead of Ghost of Yotei? I can't remember now. Anyhow, if I played more of this game, this would have been like number 2 on the Game of the
Year.
Number
2
is so.
There's been a lot of revisionism with your Game of the Year list.
I need to revise the list.
You can't.
Oh no, it's too late.
Listen. It's on the forums. It's on the family boards, or where is it? Resetera? Wherever it is. It's on some board.
It's on the forums.
Will not be revised. No.
What kind
it's
of?
Locked into
you're
history.
On like some kind of like.
It's been chiseled into a marble slab.
Really?
Yes.
My Game of the Year 2025 list has been chiseled.
For history.
Okay, fine. Then I won't revise. But in my heart, I want to revise. Anyways, I'm nearly done with this game now. I'm like at the last chapter.
Okay.
But it's amazing. Like, of course, we talk about how beautiful this game is.
Yes.
I mean, it's absolutely like every time I go to any place, anywhere in this game, I'm just like, this is a stunner. Like, it's like my eyes, my brain cannot comprehend the beauty and how they did. It's not just the graphic; it's just like the visual style of it. You know, they have that look where there's like the petals are flying around. There's all the lighting, the shadows. I was doing this part last night where it was nighttime, but they had all these lanterns out, and the shadows looked so good. And then I was also running through this like kind of path where it had all these like purple flower petals, but at night. So it had this like translucent, like fluorescent look to it all. I mean, it was just otherworldly, beautiful. And the story of this game is so good. Like, I didn't realize the storytelling was going to be...
What are they doing?
At that level. Like, so one thing that's really interesting is it kind of does like a Breath of the Wild or like Tears of the Kingdom thing where you can play, like do the main quest in any order. So you're obviously going after the Yotei 6, and they tell you at the beginning, like, talk to this guy, and you can like learn about where to find the Yotei 6 or whatever. And they give you options like, do you talk to this guy about this Yotei 6 or this? So you can like freely pick which one you go after, first, second, third, whatever. But somehow the story still all made sense, no matter which one you went to and who you started with first. Because I was talking to our friend Sean, who platinumed this game, one of his favorites of last year as well. And I was like, which order did you do yours in? Because I can't wrap my head around how they would make this very complex story with these big, like, emotional reveals and moments. How would they make it make sense if you picked a different order? And he was like, well, I did it in this order. And I was like, that is not the order I did it in. And I was like, and the story made sense? And he was like, yeah, it was fantastic. So I don't know how they did it, but Zelda team can learn from this because, you know, they had that clunkiness with those memories, right? Where you were getting the story in a very weird way. Like, you could do this in any order and be free to choose your path, but the story moments still were so well done. And yeah, there's just like so much backstory to the main character, her history. The characters that you're meeting are incredibly impactful. Like the emotional highs and lows, you're so invested in all the characters. Like, you just care so much about them, and you like, I want to know so bad like what happens at the end of the story. All of the gameplay is so fun. I've now gotten pretty much every weapon. And there are 6 melee weapons and like...
Oh, like what? What all can you get?
So you have the katana, dual katana. You have a spear.
Triple katana?
No triple katana. You have the odachi, which is the giant katana.
Okay.
You have the kasurigami,
What's that?
Which is like that chain with the ball.
Oh, that one, yes.
And the spear on the thing. Yeah. So they kind of have a thing where it's like the Fire Emblem like weapons triangle. So it's like, if your opponent has a shield, use this weapon. If your opponent has 2 weapons, use this weapon. So you're like switching all the time. You're being like, you're like, oh, if this next guy has this weapon, so I got to switch to the other one. So it's like very dynamic. All the side quest stuff is incredibly fun and rewarding. Like, you definitely are motivated to explore and continue to like do the side things. Like usually I'm like main story girl. Like I got to get through this. But I'm like, oh no, I want to bond with the wolves, and I want to do like all of I need the dyes to dye the clothes. I need this. And I'm like obsessed. I'm so into this. And then like last night, I was really surprised because I just did this like pretty like dramatic story, like boss fight kind of thing. And then the next quest was this like super slow pace, like let's just take a breather. Like all the characters, let's just take a little breather.
That's
We'll just climb up to the shrine, and we'll make dinner, and we'll look at the view, and we'll have sake, and we'll, you'll play your little like shamisen or whatever it's called, and like we'll like paint a picture or whatever. Like it was a super slow pace, like. But I was like, this is amazing. Like, yeah, you really needed that quest in that moment to just like settle into these characters, like to take a breather, like masterfully done.
Right.
So 10 out of 10 goes to Yotei. I love this game. I love this game.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe I didn't play this to completion last year because now I regret it deeply.
Seems like some bad decisions were made by you.
It would have been very high on the game.
What would have gotten bumped? What was number 10? What would have gotten bumped?
What was number 10?
I don't know. It was your list.
Can't remember.
Okay, great list then. So memorable.
Maybe Silk Song.
Well, I'm sure the Zelda team would learn a lot about this game if they knew it existed.
They probably don't.
They don't have a clue that this game even exists.
They live in the silo. It's okay. They live in the ivory tower.
Yeah.
Amazing. Play this game if you haven't played it.
Wow.
That's my PSA.
Great. I'm continuing to play Death Stranding 2.
Amazing.
I'm unfortunately realizing I'm probably not going to be able to finish this game before...
Why?
Because I've been dabbling in some other things, and we're just coming up on some of these other games that we want to get into.
Why
for
are you
spoiler
dabbling?
casts.
Why can't you
Because there's
just
other
play
things I want to play.
Stranding?
But I got some other games I'm going to talk about in a minute. I got the Analog 3D. I've been playing some stuff on that. But this game continues to be really good.
So good.
Something I think this game does that is really kind of underrated, especially in comparison to a lot of other games where you have sort of a progression, is like it just kind of gradually gives you new stuff.
Yeah.
That is actually like
Very true.
really like surprising. It's like, oh, I get to do that now. Oh, that's cool. That's great.
You can 3D print everything in that little thing, and it's like, oh, now you've unlocked like these 5 things.
Right.
Like,
like,
oh, that's neat.
Because you were kind of teasing that I was on the cusp last week of getting these, but now I got those like cyber legs that let you carry things and run faster, and there's all these vehicles that you can get. I didn't realize there were so many vehicles.
Different vehicles, yeah. They are different for different terrain as well, I think. So
Right, cool. Right. And just other little like perks and upgrades, because there's a lot of games that have upgrade systems, but sometimes they're so just like...
This actually doesn't matter at all.
I don't care, and it's like such a letdown, because that should be such like a fun, like, I'm going to get something new, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
What am I going to be able to do? And it's like, I don't really care about that. That's a bummer. This is the opposite, where in a lot of cases I don't even know it's coming, and it's like, oh, here's a surprise, you can do this. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
It is really good.
I still haven't, where do I get this thing where I can do the rock climbing? Because I still haven't found that.
You get rope and stakes.
I have the stakes. Is that something I could do all along?
Yes. As long as you have the stakes, then it just releases a rope. And you can
I can climb up?
You can climb up and down.
Oh, I got you.
But you need a lot of those, because it only goes like 30 meters.
Yeah.
And so once you're out of rope, you have to find a place to drop and then stick a new one in.
Yeah.
I always carried a lot of those just in case.
Yeah, so when I left off, there was like a big kind of emotional story moment, and now I'm in the other area, which is Australia, which is cool. And that's I imagine the majority of the game, I'm going to be staying there, because the map is much bigger.
Did you see all the animals yet in Australia?
Yeah, I've seen some animals.
Those are fun. You get to like rescue some of the animals.
Yes.
The kangaroo on fire. I was like, ooh!
Jam this into a box and be on your way.
So I was like, is this thing gonna like kick me in the face? Like I need to, but it was just like late. Yeah. It was so sad. But then you bring the kangaroo back, and then the guy's like, he's fine. I'm like, oh thank God.
I'm kind of two minds on the combat in the game.
I don't like the combat at all.
So there's the combat against, what do they call them, like bandits or something?
Yeah.
There's just like...
They're just gunning them down.
They're just dudes.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that, and I think that's actually kind of fun. It kind of reminds me of just like some of the base combat in like Metal Gear Solid 5. Which did a much better job with the combat. The combat I don't like is with these BTs.
Oh, I avoid all of them.
Which, I mean, they're like the hidden ghosty kind of things that you'll come across now and then. And a lot of times you can avoid them, and the game wants you to be stealthy, and you like hold your breath and like move so they can't hear you.
Or throw a blood bomb and run away.
Right, but it's like those encounters are not very fun.
No, I literally did none of those when I was playing that game.
You have to use special weapons to fight them. You have to. It just seems like you constantly get bogged down in something where you're moving slowly, or like, now it's throwing you, and now you're in a pile of muck and you're fighting this other thing.
You got to plan your route better.
It's
so
like
how the heck did I get here,
and what am I doing? I just don't.
Scan.
I just don't care for those.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I literally avoided all of those because I don't like them. They're scary.
Yeah. I'm not really into those. The game's had a couple more of those big moments where like you get up on top of a mountain and there's like a big reveal of a cool vista and it's like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is incredible. This is why this was the Vista game of the year for me.
Although if you pick Ghost of Yotei, I don't know. Give you a run for the money.
I didn't play either of those last year, so.
That
I did research. I did do research on Ghost of Yotei.
That Vista
is games.
amazing too. But I agree.
More revisionist history from you.
I think that's Stranding.
I'm committed to my picks.
Has more of your style of Vista than Ghost of Yotei. I think.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it seems like it seems like there's a lot more game ahead.
Yeah. That was like 30-hour game.
So maybe I can find a way to keep dabbling with it because I am enjoying it.
It's so good. The ending is so good too.
Okay.
Like the story payoff is really, really well.
All right. In between after the dramatic payoff and I ended up in that new area, there was kind of a long, maybe a 20-minute story sequence that I kind of wasn't liking.
Because you got to meet all those people on that ship.
I was on the submarine. It's going the underground submarine.
Because you have to meet all of Fragile's crew,
right,
and all those people, and it was a little boring. But then something else happens.
Also, it's why is everything in black and white? We're getting a little artsy fartsy.
It's a little cinema noir.
And we're back to trying too hard to be artsy fartsy.
And then you have that guy with the little puppet guy.
I actually don't mind the puppet guy.
The puppet guy's kind of cute, right?
There's a very straightforward explanation for why he's a puppet.
You can throw him.
I like that. That's a good feature.
Because his claw is stuck in the puppet.
It's a very who's the guy in God of Mimir?
Mimir.
He's there.
He totally reminds me of Mimir.
He's on your belt. He's chatting you up when you're doing stuff.
He's cool, and he has a fun the voice actor's real good for that guy.
I surprisingly don't mind him.
Yeah. No, I didn't mind him either. You can put him in little outfits too.
Oh.
You can change his little suit. I did that a lot. I was very interested in changing his suit.
Can I dress him up like Woody from Toy Story?
Oh, cute. That's a good idea. That's a good mod. Dress him like Woody.
One of the games that I have picked up in the spare time between Death Stranding 2 is a new indie game I think it's out now. It's called Big Hops. Mm-hmm. And this is a 3D platformer where you play as a frog.
Cute.
And this game was not on my radar at all until last week, where I just saw some tweet that had been picking up traction from the guy who made this game, and it was like, oh, look at some of the 3D platforming mechanics, and he just made a little montage of some of the cool stuff you could do in the game. I was like, well, that looks pretty cool, and I chatted him up, and I got a code for it. So it's on Switch, on PC, and I think it's on PS5. I think those are the platforms that it's on for now. This game's pretty cool. This game, the thing that I really appreciate about this game is it is going for it. It's not perfect. There are areas that I wish had a little bit more polish to them. But this game has some big ideas and it's just kind of going for it. So something that is great, that is new, is it's kind of combining more than just 3D platforming. There's a lot of stuff that, this is just a straight platforming
And are you
sequence.
hopping like a frog?
No, you're running around, but you can use your tongue. You can use your tongue to grab onto things. It's like a grappling hook. Right, but it's got really good movement. The movement actually reminds me of the Fabraz games, so Demon Tides or Bubsy.
Yeah, sure.
Where it's you're layering all these different moves.
And you're comboing them to make the big jumps and stuff.
It's well, how am I going to get from here to there? It's all right, well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then this is going to reset my moves.
There's no way I can play this game.
So I'd say it's maybe a bit more on the complex side in terms of the platforming, but there's also early on in this game, there's something that I haven't really seen a lot, which is a platforming dungeon, where it's it was like a Zelda.
Hard.
It was like a Zelda dungeon, where it's you need to get these things to open up the key and unseal the whatever. But it's based on platforming. I was
cool.
That's an interesting.
It's a very interesting take.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. That's pretty new and fresh. Another thing is initially, it just seems like it's these kind of smallish areas, kind of what you would expect from an indie platformer. But then I got through to this new section. It was this giant open desert area. I was
whoa!
Oh, this is really different from what we've been doing. And they were there's you go around and there's stuff to do and there's things to explore and little challenges to do and it all looks really nice. So again, these are examples of you're just going for it. We're gonna have a big giant area.
Why not?
With stuff to do. We're gonna try and do a 3D platforming dungeon.
Right.
There's also some little Animal Crossing-y kind of things where it's you can collect these bugs You have a bug collection, and then you can eat them because you're a frog.
You're a frog.
I don't know. I was like, should I be eating this if I'm supposedly collecting all of these bugs?
That's like you're like.
And then there's a button. It's like eat.
And then what happens when you ate them?
You get a little bit of life back. But I'm like, am I supposed to be holding on to these for some reason later? I don't know. I've just been eating them.
You've been eating them. Ew.
Yeah. So
is the frog cute?
Yeah, it's a cute little cartoon.
Cute
frog guy.
Okay. It's not like a Battletoads frog.
What's wrong with that?
It's not that cute.
For you.
You think Battletoads frog is cute?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Battletoads. So, and then after the desert, I got into this like pretty big, dense like city area.
Oh, cool.
So the game's really keeping
like
me
lots of environments and stuff.
On my toes about like what, you know, what's going to happen next and what I should expect next. So like there's something pretty cool and unique about this game.
Yeah.
There's just not that many 3D platformers that come out year to year. So I was really excited to see this, and I think people should check this out. I think this is worth a look.
Yeah. Very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
The other game that came out out of nowhere, I told you this, and you were like, what are you talking about?
I know. You were. I walked into the office late one day, and you were playing this game.
Well, that could be any day.
You weren't working though. You were
what was I doing?
You were playing Suika Planet, whatever.
That's what happens in here when you don't show up. Suika Game Planet is out. So this is the follow-up to Suika Game, which is one of the best games ever made.
Best games ever. Still play it.
Incredible kind of puzzle game. And this is not that different conceptually from that, where you're still kind of combining the fruits to make bigger fruits, and then ultimately you want to try and, you know, evolve your way up to the watermelon. That's the goal of the game.
Is it still the cute little song?
I don't know.
That song is very iconic.
It might, but in this case, so in the original game, it is like Tetris, where things just fall.
Yeah, you're like the fruits are falling into like
a
little container.
Yeah, and there is an element of physics to it too, where it's like, you know, if I
bouncing.
If I drop this at this angle, that will ricochet and shoot this thing over there that I need, which is really fun.
Yes.
In this case, since this is Suika Game Planet, it's more of like a Mario Galaxy thing, where you just have like a circular area that you're dropping the fruits into, and there's like gravity that pulls it all towards the middle. So you go in a circle.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Around it, and you drop things in. The gameplay is exactly the same, though, where it's like the same fruits that you're trying to evolve and get them bigger and bigger.
But it's just like a circular thing, and it's gravity versus it just falling straight down.
Exactly.
Is it still multiplayer?
Yeah, I believe there's multiplayer. There's a couple like new, like very light mechanics that they've added. Like there's some like you can like boost your score if you get like a string or something. It was very like insubstantial, I would say. I think ultimately, I think I like the original game a little bit better, just because there seemed to be, you know, that thing I was talking about ricocheting and using the physics to your advantage. It's
not as
it just seems to work better with the way that it's set up, where things just fall down.
Yeah.
Versus falling into the middle. Like there are a few times like, okay, I should be able to do this, and like I wasn't able to do it, and it's like,
it's not satisfying.
It's kind of eliminating one of the cool, unique things about that game.
Sure.
I still think this game's really fun. It's also like incredibly cheap.
How much is it?
Like the other one, it's like sub $5.
Perfect.
That was apparently too rich for your blood for a long time with the original game.
I did pay for it.
Eventually,
I think I got it on sale for like 99 cents though. It's great.
Good. But they really didn't make, again, this launched like out of nowhere. Like there was no fanfare. This was it was either in a direct or an indie showcase or something, and it got a big reaction, and then it just showed up one day.
They don't care.
All right.
They make money. They made the money. They made billions off of Suika.
All right. So that's what I'd say. It's pretty good, not as good as the first one.
Okay.
Lastly, we both
Yes.
So we have a gameplay video on this coming up soon that we've already recorded that's coming soon on Patreon. Lego Party.
Yes, we're asking ourselves the big question, is Lego Party actually better than Mario Party?
Yeah, because over the break I was listening to a lot of other Game of the Year podcasts to see what other people, just see what other people were saying. I was like, is there any game that I missed out on that I should check out?
Yeah.
And this game came up a lot.
It did.
Of like, this is actually better than Mario Party. This game kind of embarrasses Mario Party at its own kind of game. And I thought, well, okay, I somewhat like Mario Party, but I think it's got a lot of room to get better. So I'd be curious to see what this is. And this company actually sent me a code for this game before I hurt my hand, and I couldn't really play it. So I was like, yes, now's the time for us to actually check this out.
We had a great time.
It seems to be delivering.
Yeah.
And you can watch the video to see our full conclusion, but it does have some good ideas.
It does. It does have a lot of inspiration from Mario Party as well. Like the basic setup of how you go through one of the games is very similar to Mario Party, but it does improve on some of the things too. That some of the sluggishness of Mario Party, it does improve upon that.
It seemed to just move. So we chose a game board that said this will take about an hour.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, well, we can set aside that much time and check this out. But we finished it in like 35 minutes.
Right.
So. And I didn't feel like we were playing fast.
No, we were learning. It was our first time playing, so we were learning the game.
It seemed like a normal pace of playing, but we just got through it really fast. So yeah, there's just less
chit-chat
of somebody talking at you, unnecessary chit-chat.
Yes.
The game also has these kind of like background announcers that are always talking because it's like you're presented like you're in a game show.
Right.
And the announcers are just kind of always talking. So I think that helps to deliver some of that information.
It's like overlaid over your actions.
Right.
So it's not like you're pausing the game to listen to a toad lecture you for 30 seconds.
About something you already know.
Every turn.
Right.
So, no, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
There was also like a part on the board where if you landed on it, you could build something new on the board, and you might have like a choice of things that you could build. That was pretty neat.
The look of the game is cool too.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, they want the Mario side of Mario Party, and again, I talked about it earlier. I'm not a big Lego guy, but this did look cool, and they seem to be making the most of the Lego license.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're tired of Mario Party, or if it's like, gosh, I wish Mario Party could be a little bit better, like I think this is worth a shot. Worth a look.
Definitely worth
a shot. We'll have that video coming up soon for people who want to see it. All right, back to some Patreon questions. Here's one from Tusku. In the realm of Miyamoto-led franchises that didn't hit the big time, why don't we see him champion for Star Fox as hard as he pushes for Pikmin? Do you think after Pikmin eventually does become a giant through Miyamoto's sheer force of will, he will move on to trying the same with Star Fox?
Can only have one. Only has room for one.
There can only be one obsession.
Yeah, I think Star Fox was big once upon a time.
Yes.
Like it did. It wasn't like Pikmin that was sort of always been a bit niche. Star Fox had its day in the light. The recent Star Fox has not been that well received and hasn't been as big, but I think the difference is that Pikmin just never seems to have gone over the, just
it's
broken
like,
through.
We're getting close. Every time it seems like they're getting a little bit closer.
Yeah, and I think that irks him. I think that bugs him. And we know that it bugs him because he's told us it bugs him.
Right.
Because it's like, no, every one of my things should be, I have the Midas touch. It should be like the most popular thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't like these cute little things. For all intents and purposes, they should like them. And I think it bugs him. So
I agree. I think there's that feeling of like, oh, the next one's going to be the one where it happens. So it's always like right on the cusp of it happening, even though we've been on the cusp for 20 years.
I know.
Versus Star Fox, where like look, he really did try with Star Fox Zero. Like that was a big effort. He was directly involved.
Yes.
They brought in Platinum to help out. He was so invested in those animated shorts that he did. Like he really put a lot of effort into those and a lot of his own personal attention into those. And that just kind of crashed and burned in a way where I think he probably reflected and was like, okay, that series is further away than we thought.
Yeah.
That might require a full rethink versus Pikmin, where it's like every time we're getting a little bit closer. We're getting a little bit closer.
You can like taste it.
Right.
You can almost reach it.
Right.
But
So I mean,
your fingertips are just brushing it.
And I mean, I think that's true of anybody, especially true when you're 70-something years old. Of like, I'm going to focus my time on the thing that's closer to being a hit versus the thing that needs a total reboot.
Yeah, and
because maybe that's somebody else's project.
Maybe I give that away and let them deal with it, and then I work on the 2 or 3 projects I have left in my lifetime.
Yes.
The things that I most can make an impact on.
Right.
But I do think that Pikmin is like, there's something about it that irks him because it's like so close but no cigar. But like also one of the franchises that he's made that just hasn't been, hasn't ever been this like mega hit.
Yes, irks him and it irks you in different ways. Next
I just don't want them to die.
Next question from Baby
what
Chris.
Me.
I wanted to ask why you think Leon's return in the new Resident Evil is being so widely praised. Leon was also a lead in Resident Evil 6 alongside Chris, and that game didn't resonate as strongly with fans or critics. Do you think the excitement is mainly because Leon is a fan favorite character, or do you think people sometimes forget that bringing back a beloved character doesn't automatically guarantee a great game? We should say, there is a Resident Evil showcase that is later this. We are recording this before that.
Yes.
So they may have some new update on this that we don't
know.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet.
So we're reacting to what we've seen so far.
Yeah. I didn't play Resident Evil 6.
I didn't either, because I heard it sucked.
Yeah, so I don't know what about it was not clicking with people. Obviously, Resident Evil 4 is my favorite Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Because of Leon. I'm not sure. So since I didn't play Resident Evil 6, I don't know how they broke out the roles between Leon and Chris. But from what I've seen of Requiem, what's kind of interesting about it is that like Leon and then who's Grace has very different like gameplay mechanics.
Right.
Like she's very stealthy and very much like you have to do like the hide and seek with her because she's scared and doesn't have a weapon. And Leon is more like action. So I feel like that part of it was the most exciting part when I heard the news. It's like, yes, of course, I love Leon. Leon is an amazing character and he's really hot. And
that's got something to do with it.
I like that. That's
right?
Great. But I'm also extremely interested in like the two sides of the gameplay where it's like, one person is just like running and gunning, and one person is more so like doing the more stealth stuff. So I think that's cool, but I'm not sure if that is what they try to do in 6, but didn't work.
Yeah, my understanding of 6, and again I didn't play it either, was that it started with 4. It's like, we introduced more action elements. With 5, went a little bit further than that. And it sounds like with 6, they went completely overboard, where it's like basically an action movie.
Oh, I don't.
It's like the Fast and Furious of Resident Evils, where it's like, all right, we're veering into some ridiculous.
Now you're not really playing a survival horror anymore.
And it's not what we thought it was before.
There you go.
Whereas with this, I do feel like you can really like do some exciting things with managing the tension.
Yes.
If you're bouncing between the two characters.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll have to see if they can pull that off. Mm-hmm. But just thinking about it, it's like you can really guide the player down a lot of different feelings and emotions.
Yeah. Like I'm imagining like this feeling of extreme fear.
Right.
And then the feeling of extreme relief.
Yeah.
When when Leon comes along to help you in a moment of like dire distress.
Right, and I
think those sequences seem like it would be really fun.
Right, and I'll bet you can also do some fun things unexpected, like now we're swapping roles. It's like now Leon's lost his stuff and he's helpless, and now he has to slink around. Grace found a machine gun.
Yeah.
Now she's
or
gas
she has to rescue Leon somehow or something like that because he's now like helpless.
Yeah.
Like but she's still scared. She's like trying to learn how to use it, but and Leon's maybe trying to help her from like there's so many different options of gameplay that you can do with these two different sets of characters, the two different sides of characters.
Right.
That's exciting to me.
You've been talking to me a lot about this Leon jacket at Old Navy.
Did I need to buy it for you? I saw it yesterday again.
What is it now?
You sent me a TikTok of that jacket. So I'm like, are you trying to drop a hint?
This is something you can get at Old Navy.
Yes,
and
it's
it looks
not
like,
even that expensive.
It looks like the Resident Evil 4.
I'm going to buy it for you.
I don't want it.
I'm going to buy it for you. What's your size?
Let's buy it, take a picture, and then return it. Let's do that.
What if you like it?
I don't think I will.
Why not?
I don't think that's my style.
Should I buy it tonight? You can wear it? This week?
And then return it? I'm very willing to take a photo.
You just go to the Old Navy.
But I don't want to keep it. Let's go. Let's skip a step. Let's just go to the Old Navy and take a picture.
They're gonna love that.
You can Photoshop out the background.
Oh my gosh, how funny! Start like kicking things with a gun. Make a face. Make a little like a cringe face.
Take that, Ganado.
You could like if you combed your hair a little differently, it could kind of be the Leon hairstyle.
Great. It's time now for our big interview with Grant Kirkhope. So many exciting things to talk about. So here we go. Welcome, Grant.
Look who's here. Extra special guest.
Welcome.
The one and only, the legendary Grant Kirkhope. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited.
Can you believe it?
On the show.
I just had that line around. So there you go.
Oh my God. That took us by surprise. We had been chatting for about 5 minutes before we hit the button, and you were holding back on us, Grant. You were ready. I love it.
Now, you're one of our most requested guests.
Yes.
And we're wonderful that we can do this. You and I have never met before. You and Krista worked a little bit on the Smash Ultimate Banjo-Kazooie stuff, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But so great. But why don't we start with, there's this era of Nintendo that we're always so curious about, and it's the Nintendo 64 era. And we had our era at Nintendo kind of like the mid 2000s to the early 2020s, but like it wasn't that long before, but we just can't imagine what this era was like. So maybe just from your perspective of being with Rare, like what was the general atmosphere at that time working with Nintendo, making all those incredible games?
Well, I just got there like in 95, right? So the N64 dev kits were at Rare. It was called the Ultra 64 then, right? I think it's called Dolphin, was it, the code name for it? And the motherboard sat inside a Silicon Graphics indie computer. And the indie computers are really super expensive, right? They were the ones that made Jurassic Park and all that back in the day. They were like, and Rare was a cash-rich company at the time, so they could afford it. But a lot of companies couldn't afford to buy the computers and put the board in, right? Because it was so expensive. And Goldeneye was just in the offing when I was there, just getting kind of started. And Blast Core was Graham Norgate was doing Blast Core, and he was doing Goldeneye with me as well at the same time. And so, for someone like me, he was a bit older than everybody else and had been, on an unemployment benefit most of his life to that point, to get an actual job writing music was crazy, right? So, and I feel like Rare just seemed to have a magic touch. Like after doing even prior to being Rare, when they were Ultimate Play the Game, they'd made so many great Spectrum games that sold gazillions of copies, right? And so there were a pedigree company even at that point. And then to switch to working for Nintendo on the NES and then the SNES and then get to the N64 and the whole 3D thing, I just felt like I was in Disneyland. It was just incredible, There's this it's a manor farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in a little village called Twycross in England, which has got nothing there apart from a pub and a private school and a tractor repair depot thing. And that's it. There's nothing else. A few houses. That's about it, right? It's just in the middle of nowhere. And they'd slowly converted the manor farmhouse and the outbuildings were all kind of stables into blocks for us to all work in, right? So they slowly converted it as it went along. So we're called the barns back then. That's what we called them. I mean, I've got super fond memories of being that whole thing changed my life, right? Like to be from what I was playing in rock bands and stuff and not doing very well to all of a sudden having a job and then all of a sudden landing on Goldeneye by complete fluke. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it seems like everything Rare touched in those days just seemed to turn to gold, And I've got to say, I really attribute that to Tim and Chris Stamper, the two guys that ran the company. They were the two brothers. They were always in complete lockstep. I never knew them having a disagreement, and they just had such a way about making us staff work harder. It was always like, that's great. But what about this? And it's always like, that thing they used to do, especially Tim. So, and I think also, like, they kind of shielded us from Nintendo a little bit because all our games were invariably late, usually, because they wouldn't let anything out the door till it was absolutely fantastic, right? And they just say, it's just not going to go out. And Nintendo would be screaming at them going, where's the games? Where's the games? But the staff never knew that, right? We were just like oblivious, just jolling along, making these games, right? And they took all the heat. So, but, we'd get visits from Nintendo from time to time, which was always super special. I remember sitting in my little office one night and lots of Japanese guys walked in and I didn't know who they were, and Tim was talking to them about my Goldeneye music and all that. And I think it was Mr. Arakawa. I had no idea, who it was. You know what I mean? So it was just an absolutely fantastic period of time to the whole, it was scary sometimes because Nintendo would get a bit annoyed about stuff. We had a legendary meeting with Howard Lincoln at the E3 one year at the Biltmore Hotel in LA. And it's because Banjo-Kazooie was going to be late. We knew it wasn't going to make that Christmas, it was supposed to be for that Christmas, and we knew it was going to make it. So Howard meeting with us all in the basement at the Biltmore Hotel. And he just kind of walked in and said, he was a very quiet spoken man. He just said, my name's Howard Lincoln. I forget his title, the president or whatever, He said, we have $5 billion in the bank and no debts. And that's how he started his conversation with us. We were like, oh my God. We just so you guys understand, we've committed 20 million to this advertising budget and 30 million to this for Banjo-Kazooie, and just went through all the things they'd done. We were all thinking, oh my God, and we knew that there's no way we were going to make Christmas. He said, so it's going to be a very bad thing if you guys don't make it. That's like, sweating bullets, like going, no, we're going to make it, Howard. No, we knew we wouldn't, So there was a few of those went on here and there. But no, absolutely fantastic. I think Rare and Nintendo, that coupling back then was just a perfect match,
Yeah.
Yeah, that relationship with Rare and Nintendo is so curious to us because during our era, it was really like, Nintendo had so much leverage over the development partners, exerted so much control that they still do today. But back then, they really needed Rare, and Rare was really carrying the Nintendo 64. So it's just kind of an arrangement that's very unusual for us from what we experienced.
Yeah,
because I guess so Nintendo, bought into Rare. They owned just under half. So they didn't have the controlling influence, right? So it didn't matter how much they shouted. There wasn't a lot they could do about it because Rare had, the Stamper Brothers kept the controlling interest. And that whole story about how Nintendo, that was the first Western company they ever bought into. They would never entertain anybody in the West, like anything. So the fact that because Chris Stamper, who was a programmer brother of Tim was more the artist and Chris, they reverse engineered an NES, the NES, to make a game for it and sent it across to Nintendo, and Nintendo couldn't believe they'd done it. Like, how did you do that?
Right.
That's how they kind of got in the door in the first place. And they slowly bought more, ownership of Rare as it went along, up to like 49%. So, I feel like the N64. I feel like some consoles have a real, place in people's hearts, and for various reasons. I think the N64, one of those consoles that people really loved. I just, for whatever reason, it just seems to really solidified in people's hearts, that particular console,
Don't you agree, Krista?
I never had one. That's my deep, dark.
It's your claim to shame.
Deep, dark gaming secret is I never owned an N64. I had a lot of friends that had it, but sometimes I do feel like I missed out a little bit.
I'm with you, Grant.
I hear of the N64 nostalgia, I'm like, oh, I missed out. I missed out on that era somehow. Anyhow,
you're too young. You see, us old people, you're too young, obviously.
You're too young.
I'm too young. Oh, right.
Gen Z correspondent. When you were there, did you realize in that moment, oh my gosh, this is so special? This is we may never experience this again, or was it just it's just another day going back to work? Let's see what we can do.
So I think not at first. I think Rare was very. They like to be super secretive, and Tim and Stamper used to always say, we're not pop stars, we make games. The games do the talking. So we never gave interviews.
Very Nintendo in that way.
Yeah. I guess, they're very akin like that. And was like, no point, the games do the talking. There's no point bragging about it, because what's the point of bragging if the game's no good, right?
Right.
So they kept us, it was very quiet. We never did any interviews, never met anybody, never went anywhere really apart from E3. It kind of got to be the point that if your game got shown at the E3, the team got taken to the E3. It was a special event, So apart from that, nothing happened. So just kind of sat in this place, middle of nowhere, lots of young men, young guys who had no ties or girlfriends or anything, and just worked there till midnight or after for years on end. And that's the way it was. Nobody had a life really, But I think but everybody wanted to do it. Everybody really, I think, when you've got people like Tim and Krista really instill that, I can't think of the word for it, passion into the thing, it just makes you want to be better, and want to work hard and be as good as everybody else. And I think there's little internal rivalry between all the teams, between Conquer and Banjo and the rest of the teams, all that stuff, So that went in a good natured way. So it was just, I don't know. I feel like when GoldenEye came out, nobody expected it to do anything really, because it was full of bugs and it was really late and it'd been messed around a lot, And it was kind of one of those, usually games come out these days have a big spike at the start and then kind of go like that. GoldenEye just kind of went like that us up and up and up and up. And like, you know, this in the second year it sold more than the first year, and in the third year it sold more than the first 2 years combined. That's unheard of in games, really.
Yeah, the longevity.
So I think, and I feel like once that, I think they kind of we start to realize, oh, we've done something good, you know. And then Banjo did well, and then DK did well, and Conker did, and everything just started to do well, you know. And like so, it just was crazy time.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So one of your most well-known works is Donkey Kong 64. And we earlier, before Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, we did a whole video looking back at the music of the series. And we just like realized like, wow, you had a really tough job on that game following up the David Wise trilogy.
Yeah, for definite.
Did you feel that pressure as you were working on that soundtrack?
Oh my God, for definite. Dave did an absolutely fantastic job on the SNES games. I mean, you know, me and Dave are great friends to this day still, you know. And he did just such an amazing job. It's like, oh, what can I do? What am I going to do to make it, you know, to kind of, so you have to kind of just forget about that and get on with it. And at that time I was doing Banjo-Tooie and Perfect Dark and DK64 at the same time.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, because Graham Norgate quit to go and do Free Radical. And so I got given Perfect Dark. And Robin Beanland got given Jeff was Gemini, so kind of I just got another game put on me. I was like, I've only done 2 games, here's another one, you know. So you know, if you've got to pinch yourself and go, my God, I'm going to get to write music for Donkey Kong, you know, that, you know, next to Mario, he's the biggest, right, you know. So I was just unbelievably flattered that I got the chance to do it. I think it turned out all right. You know, I mean, I know the DK rapper a bit of a slagging off at the time. But I feel like people like it 25 years later. It's taken 25 years and people like it. So that was, you know. And also it's so bizarre that, you know, doing the voice of Donkey Kong for that game, right? So I feel like I didn't realize that I was the first voice of Donkey Kong, really. I didn't really realize that until very recently. Yeah. And it's bizarre because at the time, I was asking people, anybody want to do the voice of DK, you know, for the game, and no one wanted to do it. So I was so sick of asking people at Rare. I thought I'll just do it myself, you know. So I did the cool and banana and all the rest of it, and stuck it in the game, and all the grunts, and forgot about it. Thinking I'm just sick of this. And then it was so bizarre that Nintendo asked for the samples to use in later games for a little while, you know. So when I go to these conventions that I do from time to time, you know, I sometimes get billed as a voice actor because I did the voice of DK, even though I'm not a voice actor, obviously. So it's quite crazy that I got to do that, you know.
Do you feel a bit of irony that across all of your great works, one of the most enduring pieces is the DK rap?
I know. You know what? I think about that quite a lot, and it's a kind of track that I like to, you know, take the mickey out of now and then, you know. But I think of any artist of any persuasion, right? Whether you're a writer, photographer, whatever it is, if just one person in the world likes something that came out of your head, that's amazing, right? So the fact that if I'm known for the DK rap and the Goldeneye watch pause music right there, once used to like, if that's my 2 things, I'll take it, right? I write this great epic orchestral music and, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. But I really don't care if I get remembered for anything. That's more than I anticipated, you know, 30 years ago when I started, right? So I feel like it's an amazing thing that anybody cares about anything that I do.
Yeah.
It is incredible though that, you know, your music has this very enduring quality. Like you were just talking about the Goldeneye pause music. Like that's like a viral TikTok sound now. And I think there was recently like a football
game.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
The banjo music. So there is this like viral nature to some of your music. Like why do you think that is? And like, how does it feel to, you know, to just hear these pieces 30 years later in this kind of different way?
You know, funny enough, I've thought about that quite a lot recently because I'm just doing the game with the Day for Night Studios guys, Bradley the Badger. And, you know, they're good friends of mine because we did the My Rabbids games together, you know, for Ubisoft and Nintendo. So, and they were sort of, when it came to the game, I thought they're going to want something quite dark. And, you know, and they're like, oh no, we want it to be quite banjo-esque. And I was like, that Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, well, what really, you know? So he said, you want a mixture of like kind of scary stuff, but banjo in there somewhere. Like you've got to mix it together. I was like, well, how am I going to do that? You know, but it's kind of made me rediscover what it is about maybe the banjo music that makes people remember it, or any stuff that I've done. I think sometimes composers, you can get caught up in the whole complex orchestration equals good thing, right? And all your composer peers say, oh, it's amazing, well done, all that. But I feel like, and you kind of think things that are simple aren't as valid because it only take you 10 minutes as opposed to 3 weeks, whatever it is. And I've kind of learned that isn't the case. Like something super simple is just as valuable as something super complicated. It doesn't matter, that's irrelevant, right? So I feel like this writing that Banjo-Kazooie stuff and the DK stuff, whatever, and try to write that catchy tune. I don't know how I do it. I really don't. And honestly, writing melody for me takes me 5 to 10 minutes tops. Writing a melody, it really does. It might not be any good, but it doesn't take me very long. It just comes very natural to me doing that kind of thing.
Wow.
So, and I think that, being first at Rare and Tim and Christian were saying you need to write music that people can listen to for 100 times round and round and round and round and not get tired of it. And all those composers there were like, well, how do you do that? Like Koji Kondo's, a god at it, right? Like how we're ever going to do anything like that. So it's just thinking about it probably. Now there are little tricks in composer land where you do repetition about, you got the melody, you got to repeat it, certain little phrases will repeat or rhythmic it'll repeat. That helps to stick it in your brain. But I don't think it's like, I'm conscious of that. I think I just know it. I don't really think about doing that. You just naturally write a melody that way. And sometimes people say you've got the Kirkhopean sound. Like it's not, I don't feel like that's by design. I think, I'm a metal fan, right? So I've always been a metal fan all my life. Like, so when when I hear Brian May or Eddie Van Halen play guitar, I know it's them a mile away without even knowing it's them because of the way they phrase things and where they play, they have this sound. And I think that every composer's got that built in. You just write music that you like to hear, that you like yourself. And you like using the same chords over and over again that you've stolen from somebody else 10 years ago, or in my case, 30 years ago, so I think that maybe just makes it sound like you. Like, I feel like when the Bradley the Badger trailer played at the Games Award, everyone said, we knew it was you from the minute it started. And I was
exactly.
I was a bit like, but why is that? I couldn't really put my finger on it. It's just a bit of kind of 60s sounding happy music. I don't know, but well, I'm very grateful, but I don't know why that is. It's just one of those things,
Yeah.
We have our first community question that kind of building upon something you were just saying. This is from Elite Peach. When you composed the soundtracks for games like Banjo-Kazooie, were you able to see any gameplay footage or concept art of the levels you were composing for, or did you have to compose them based solely off of descriptions like desert or swamp?
So when I was at Rare as a staff composer, I was sat in with the team in the same block, right? It's like a long barn, and they were all kind of open plan, and everyone just sits there and shouts at each other all day long and takes a mickey out of each other. That's that whole sense of humor thing that kind of bled into the game. But so I got to see all of it. But since being a freelancer, sometimes you don't get that. So it may just be it's a frozen ice castle, or it's a desert or whatever. And so, or I worked for Blizzard on World of Warcraft, and they sent me tons of videos and lots of artwork and tons of stuff. It was brilliant. Doing the Mario Rabbids games, sometimes I just get a PowerPoint stuff from the audio director, Romain Brio, who would send me he sent me pictures and stuff, bits and pieces, but mostly it was kind of a description. And, maybe some musical references to say it should sound a bit like this, So I feel like it could be tons of stuff or nothing, a few sentences. I think when I did Goldeneye, I don't think I ever saw it really. I very much. I just used to get the levels were like just a few sentences of what they were, So you just kind of shut your eyes and guess. That was my first game. I had no idea what I was doing really. So, it could be all of that stuff.
Wow.
One of the things that you were kind of in the news about over the last couple of years was the Mario movie and the DK rap and the lack of crediting for that. And we're not going to ask you that question again because we talked about that. But we are curious, like what your general take as a musician on the use of music in the Mario movie and maybe what they might do with the next one. Because Krista and I we debate like the use of the licensed music in that first movie. Like, should it be there when they already have such a rich, library of Mario music? Like when you go and watch that movie, like what is your feeling about how they handle it?
Well, I tell you what, I haven't watched the Mario movie. I just can't. I was so annoyed about the DK rap thing. I just can't bring myself to watch it.
Yeah.
So I've watched the scene where DK comes on and they play it, and it's quite cool. And it's nice that they wanted to use it, and it's nice that they just sample it straight from the game. There was no re-recording done. It's just it's the banjo team doing the DK chant in the chorus. It's the guys. It's Chris and Chris and George doing the rap, and I did the rest of it, and all, so it's nice someone to do. So I've seen that bit, but I haven't seen the rest of it. And I know that Dave knows that his themes was used by Brian Tyler, the composer, in the movie. That he wasn't credited either. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes like Illumination made it right. I mean, Nintendo would be an overseer, but Illumination are the guys that make it. So you've got a music supervisor who's providing the licensed music to stick into the movie. So you've got all that nonsense going on with that politics between lots of big companies. So often things don't turn out right. So I understand the whole license thing. I always feel like it's nice to get these cultural hit points, they call them, where it's a well-known song that people like and know, and it gets to the movie. I don't know whether sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's up to the music supervisor to kind of work out what's going to work and what isn't going to work. So, and I feel like it was nice that Nintendo used some of mine in Dave's stuff in DK Bonanza. We've used some of our music from the past games in there, so that was nice. The kind of tip of the hat to us. So even though, they own DK, but for a good chunk of time, it was Rare's thing, right? A good chunk of years, it was kind of, I feel like DK had most of his outings with Rare, and also we did a DK DLC with Mario Rabbids, the first game. So we got to do DK again. That was really cool. So it is nice that they do a tip of the hat. But the whole DK rap thing and all that was a bit, annoying. And I'd had conversations with them about that, and there are a bunch of rules that they put in place and stuff, For the licensed music, I don't know. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it isn't. I feel sometimes you get the end of the movie and the credits and they'll put a pop tune on the end or something like that. And it's like, why did you bother doing that? It's right at the end. Everyone's left. There's no one in the theatre. So, like I say, it works sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it works in the moment because that song is popular in the moment. But if you watch the movie like 10 years later, it doesn't have that enduring quality, which is the opposite of kind of your music in video games, where it kind of lasts the test of time. Because like years later, we're still listening to the Goldeneye sound and the Donkey Kong music.
Yeah, I agree.
Chasing a trend, sometimes it doesn't work, but in the moment, it's fun. Yeah. But I feel like let's watch the Mario movie in like 10 years and will we still like that licensed music? Maybe not, because it's like now the song sounds like very clearly, of the 2020s or whatever. And
I agree. And I do feel like sometimes people in movie companies underestimate the audience. When you're making a video game movie, there's a gazillion billion people who love all the Mario music from all the games, right back to the word go, right? And there's all that to draw from. And if they used it in the right place, the audience would light up. They're going, oh, that's from Mario Brothers. That's from. They'd be picking it out. I know where that came from. And maybe a new orchestral version of it, whatever. But they'd recognize it, right? It would be super special for the audience. So I think they should kind of remember who they're making the movie for, because there's hardly anybody on the planet, under a certain age hasn't played a Mario game. Right. Older people like me, maybe not, but the younger people, the younger generation under a certain age, probably no one hasn't played a Mario game, literally, So there's all that wealth to draw from that you could stick in the movie and it would be brilliant. And there's going to be moments where you're going to need a properly composed orchestral score for whatever, right? I get that, right? But there's so much other stuff you could pull in there that would just light people up. Because people love remembering that, I remember that tune that I heard, but I know where that comes from. Or, like Stranger Things is a great example. Like using the Kate Bush run up that hill thing. What a fantastic idea that was. There's a classic example of something that really worked fantastically well. And they kind of put some orchestra with it. And it was such a great, that's a great moment, right? But there aren't that many of those moments like that where it really lights everybody up, So I do think they underestimate the audience sometimes on making video game movies, for definite.
What do you think this point around crediting and Nintendo has become such a contentious point? Because there's also the Nintendo Music app where the creators of that music aren't credited. Do you have a read on why this is getting harder for them to do?
I don't know why they do it. I just think, Japanese people are very culturally different to us. They really are. And maybe it just doesn't register with them. Maybe they just don't think it's a thing that you need to do. That's all I can assume, right? When I did get hold of a Nintendo legal person that I talked about the DK rap, you know, he gave me those 3 points. You know, that they decided that point one was any music in the movie that was written by Nintendo composers, they owned it, they weren't going to credit the composers. Point two was if it has a vocal, they would credit the composers. Point three was, but if they also owned that, they wouldn't credit the composers. So the DK rap loses out because it's got a vocal, but they own it, so therefore they don't credit me. So that was the 3 criteria they came up with for the movie. It seems a bit of an odd, and I sort of, I don't want to fall out with them. I just said, I understand. I just sort of said, but by the time the credits roll in the movie for the music, it's right at the very end of the credits, right at the very, by that point, there's nobody in the theatre except me, my wife, my 2 kids going, look what I did. Everybody else has gone by that point, you know. I said, for the sake of a couple of lines of text, what's it matter? There's no, I sometimes feel like they worry about that ownership, that anybody confuses that they own it, because they do. Right, and I wonder whether that's they don't want any confusion about anything like that. Funny enough, my optician, right, is Japanese, and she's a massive gamer. And when I go get my eyes tested, she was like, "Oh my God, Grant Kirkhope was," you know, it's funny. You know, when I first went in there, and I told her about that. She said, being Japanese, she says, I can sort of understand why they might have done it. She says, Japanese people like things to be very black and white, so yes or a no. There's no grey area in the middle. And anything that's a vaguely grey is just a no. She said, if you'd have gone to Japan and talked to them or had a Japanese person write an email for you or something like that, they might have had more of consideration. So that was her feeling as a Japanese person. You know, she said, I feel like that might work better. She said, but normally it's very hard, fast, yes or no, and there's no grey bits. So if they're worried about who owned the DK rap or whatever it was, it's just a no. And that's it. Well, funny enough, I got an email from the vice president of something at Universal Music a couple of years before the movie came out. And it's kind of, dear Mr. Kirkhope, we're trying to find the publisher for the DK rap for an upcoming animated feature. Right. And I was like, I was cleaning the Mario movie, but you didn't say that, right? Do you know who owns it? I was a bit like, you're making the movie with Nintendo and you don't know who owns the DK rap. Like, and you're asking me, like, for God's sake, surely you must know that Nintendo must know that they own it. So I don't know whether they're worried about it or there's confusion. Yeah. You know, when Rare sold to Microsoft, that whole deal thing, right? The deal was that Rare kept all its IPs, but handed everything DK back to Nintendo. That's how the deal went, right? So they must know. They must know that they own it. I mean, I think they do know they own it now, but perhaps they didn't for a while. I mean, in fact, the Universal are asking me who owns it or who owns the publishing is a bit like, are you crazy? Like, obviously Nintendo. So I don't know.
It is complicated. I remember working on Smash, and the music licensing was probably one of the most complex parts of that project because you were working with so many different companies. Some of these things are older as well, and like those companies do not exist anymore, or they've become different companies, or they were sold, or so on and so forth. So it was very confusing how to track down some of those on the legal side, some of that stuff. But your point about like Nintendo being very like black or white is something that we understand so viscerally well working there, because it's very true. They like the control, you know, they like the idea that they 100% without any confusion owns this thing or controls this thing, and they will present this thing to the public within how they want to do it, within their control. So that's like their number one priority, I think, most times when they are doing anything. So I can see how that kind of gets wrapped up in this topic about crediting and all of this. But I do think it's really unfortunate, because I think as a fan and as people that are just enjoying Nintendo entertainment, I would love to know the creators behind the things that I'm enjoying, you know, that there's a human that made this thing, and I would love to know who that human is, but they have sort of a different opinion about how they want to share that information, which I think is a little unfortunate. Yeah,
and I do think that video game composers enjoy a real degree of notoriety. I think video game fans like to know who wrote the music. I think movie TV vibes less, kind of a bit less, but I feel like gamers love to know who the composers are. I feel like composers are really lucky in that respect who work on video games. And one more thing about the Nintendo thing, like in the UK, there's a thing called the moral rights of attribution. which means that it's a law that says you have to credit any creator with what they did, whether you pay them or not. So strictly speaking, Nintendo should credit me or anybody with anybody that creates something in the UK, which I did. It's the actual law. So you could create trouble if you wanted to, but I wouldn't want to do that because I don't want to follow a Nintendo. I might work for them in the future. Who knows? I don't know. Right. But, I feel like, but there is that thing going on where, and I feel like it has been a bit of a grey area. The writers share, the publishers share, and all that stuff that goes on, in the background. Like you say, people that don't exist anymore. Who owns it? Where's the ownership? Who's got that? All that kind of stuff, So it can get, and I think Nintendo just don't like grey areas. It has to be absolute black and white. And if it's a grey area, it's just a no, and that's it.
Yeah. So true.
Here's our next community question from Sam's Cola Enjoyer. What is your first memory of a fan recognizing you, either in public or online?
I think I live in a town here called Agora Hills, and I was in the next town over, south of Thousand Oaks, and I was in Toys R Us with the kids, and the guy in the checkout recognized, he got my credit card and went, "You're not the," I said, "You're Grant." That's what I said, "I am Grant Kirkhope." I don't know if I'm the Grant Kirkhope, but I am. There's lots of other ones, I'm sure. And so he was like, "Oh wow." So yeah, and also I was in the do-it-yourself shop here as well, and the guy went, "Just a minute, you're Grant Kirkhope." I've had it in Vons a couple of times, and when they see my name, so yeah, I've had it a little bit. I'm by no means gazillions of times, but I've had it a fair few times where people have gone, "You're that bloke," yeah. So yeah, so it's super nice that anybody cares who I am, for God's sake, So it's very flattering.
It's amazing. Has anyone asked you do the rap right now? in the bond, do the rap.
I get them to do the rap. That's what I do. So
that's right. Good idea.
I went to buy Dika Bonanza for my son in the Best Buy just before Christmas, and a girl served me, and she said, she was clearly a game. She said, "Great game, you're really going to enjoy this." I said, "Oh yeah, I know a little bit about DK. I know a little bit about DK." She said, "Oh, do you really?" I said, "Yeah, I did DK rap." So you know the DK rap? I said, "Well, I wrote it." And she kind of went, "What?" Like that. And she was a real gamer, so it was really nice to chat to her and have a little laugh. She said, "Me and my husband listen to it all the time." I said, so it's super funny, so now and then.
Cute.
So yeah, you and Krista do have something in common, that you both worked on Smash Ultimate, and just wondering, what was your first reaction when you got either the email or the phone call of "Hey, Banjo, he's coming"?
That was so Davide Soliani, who's the creative director on the Mario Rabbids games, and Nintendo, bizarre enough, had emailed him to say, "Could you ask Grant if we could get in touch with him?" And I was a bit like, "Well, you just get in touch with me straight, Anyway, so they sent me an email. It was, they're super polite. It's, "Dear Mr. Kirkhope, we have something we'd like your, I think it was collaboration on. Are you interested?" I was like, "Are you joking?" And I kind of thought, for a minute, is it Banjo? I thought, nah, it's been years for Banjo. It's probably going to be Princess Rabbid Peach or something, like Rabbid Games or something like that into Smash. That's what I guessed. And so it took a little while to get the NDA and then agents and all that nonsense happen. And then they finally said, "Yeah, it's Banjo-Kazooie and Smash." I nearly exploded. I was like, "What?" It was unbelievable. And they were super nice. They really were. Mr. Sakurai, his English isn't great, but there's a guy at Nintendo called Paul Logue, who's actually Scottish like me, would you believe, works in Kyoto. So he did the kind of translation between me and Mr. Sakurai, and sort of said, they sent me you get a PowerPoint document that all the Smash composers get, and it's got just how they like it to be laid out. And initially I was like, why do you need me to do anything? All the Smash composers are fantastic. All the versions that you get that the Smash composers do are just brilliant. You don't need me to do anything at all. I was really super flattered that they even cared. And he just sort of said, 4 bars intro, make it loud at the start and then quiet at the end to wrap it around the start again. It's and don't talk to any of the Smash composers. No, it was all that, So I set off I did a version with, the tune kind of goes, it's got a Banjo-Kazooie bit, like banjo instruments at the start, and then it goes orchestral at the end. I think, so I did it the other way around. It was like orchestral at the start, that's what they asked for. And then take it down to the kind of acoustic bit and then wrap it around and send it off. They said, "Oh, we love it, but can you switch it around?" Completely opposite to what we asked for in the first place. So I did the kind of banjo, instruments at the start, and so at the end, go as crazy as you like into, anything, as orchestra as big as you want to make it. I was like, "Oh, all right." And before that, so you can pick any tune you like from the game. I was like, "Oh, really?" I just chose Sparrow Mountain. I thought, well, it's the first thing you come to in Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
And I just thought, but it was so bizarre that when I did it and they sent me the video, the level was Paramount. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. No one told me that.
Wow.
It was a complete fluke, So, and the only thing, I did like maybe 10 versions. It kept asking me to turn the reverb down. I think you get quite a Hollywoody, reverby big thing over here, and they like it to be less echoey and reverby on the Nintendo, like a drier sound. So they kept telling me to turn that down. That's the only thing I think I changed really. And I stuck in little references to other pieces in the orchestra bit at the end, like to people could pick out the little Easter eggs of tunes from Banjo, all that kind of thing. But they're super nice, and they said they loved it. Oh, you'll love it. Yeah, it's great. It's on the level. Oh, I couldn't believe that. And then after a while, saying we like the tune so much, we're going to use it for the trailer. And I was like, oh, it's just getting better and better and better. I couldn't believe they're going to use it for the trailer. That was just like unbelievable. I said, I'm going to do a little video and just stick it on Twitter, and so, well, can we see it, please? I'd have to check it out and everything. And can you change the text to be to this and have the right logos and whatever it was? I had to change it a little bit. But it said, you can't put the video on Twitter until it's officially live on the Smash Brothers website, right? Yeah. So I got it was like 9 a.m. LA time that they announced that Banjo was going to play the trailer. And my Twitter was just going, is it you? Is it like I just sit there.
You're like, I can't confirm it yet.
I just sat there like that going, and I feel like it was like 11 o'clock, 2 hours later when it finally went live on the website. And that's when I did the video and say, it's me. And I've got to say, I don't feel like you get too many moments like that in your career very often, where it's just such an absolute explosion of love for Banjo-Kazooie, and I feel like watching those fan videos, reaction videos, I watch those back every now and then. It still makes me cry to watch it now because everyone's in tears. And the Nintendo store in New York, we'd been there a couple of times, but we released the My Rabbids games there twice. So I knew some of the staff there and, and all that. I mean, we'd been there a couple of times for that. So seeing the fan reaction there and just all over the place, and friends, infos that I know were all crying and all that. Like, it's not very often you get moments like that in your career. You just go, oh my God, what a spectacular event that was. It just was, and when I was talking to Anthony at that time we met at the Nintendo thing at E3, I said, how's that compared to other, character editions? Because a lot of the characters are, he said it's probably one of the biggest for Nintendo.
The biggest ones that we ever had. Yeah. That one
he said it was just huge deal. Which is nice, that people still care about the bear and bird from 20, 25 years ago,
They care very deeply. They care a lot. Yeah, those final reveals were like nightmarish for us to work on because the control around how you get those trailers done and we can't leak it. There's only it was like 5 people that knew about it and how we would do it. And Mr. Sakurai is like a perfectionist, as you know. Yeah. And it was just it's like we need to do it a certain way and everything is coming together at the last minute. So when it does come together and you see this big explosion of excitement and love from the fans, it is this like big like relief moment. And like Anthony's totally right. Like out of all of the fighter reveals I think we did that year, I think Banjo's probably one of the biggest ones, if not.
Yeah, it was just crazy. Yeah, I know. And my kids would walk past and see me working on it, right? And I'd say, you just can't tell a single, and they're both at high school at the time. I said, you cannot tell a single person about this.
Do not breathe. This is like, my dad is doing something.
Yeah, I know. So Nintendo will hire Hitman to come take me out, I tell you.
Oh, they will.
It's like, so they're like, so they were, it's like that. Just don't you breathe a word of it. And they didn't. I've got to say, and it's not like them not to breathe a word, but they didn't do it.
Oh, good for them. You scared them enough.
After your father disappeared, I've been seen again,
I know.
So, so that was really, what a fantastic moment that was. And I just, it was everything that it could have been any better than it was. It was like, everybody loved it. Everybody, the fans went crazy. The trailer was great and just fantastic.
Yeah.
Here's another community question. This one's from Dewdrop823. I always enjoy your work. My question is, do you have a favorite video game composer that isn't yourself? Nintendo or not, I'd love to hear your answer. Mine is Toby Fox.
Oh,
well, my favorite isn't myself for definite. I'll tell you that. I don't think any composer likes themselves very much. So honestly, I don't listen to a ton of video game music on purpose because I've tried to think, I want to pull it out of my head when I write stuff. Maybe the way I sound like I do is because I just write from my head and try not to get influenced. But I do listen to a lot of film scores, so I guess that's not completely true. I've got plenty of friends who are composers that I think are really great. Austin Wintory's great. Daniel Baranowski's great. Jimmy Hinson's great. Who else do I know composer-wise? And I know quite a lot of community. Wilbert Roger, he's great. I'm blanking on people now. So, there's a ton of really awesome composers out there who I'm in awe of what they do, So, but not anybody. But for me, I guess, like my favorite game of all time, still Zelda: Link to the Past. I think that's my favorite game I've ever had, even after all this time. And I think the music in that's fantastic. And there's not many people have written themes like Koji Kondo has that just are iron-proof, like this bulletproof. They're just the best, right? You think of some of his all-time great themes, like the Mario stuff, and the Zelda themes, just amazing. Like, so I guess probably him, just because he's like the John Williams of video games, right? Like, he's the Jedi Master. The rest of us just Padawans, right? So you can't. He was the first one there doing it probably, and he's written so many. How many iconic themes has he written that the world knows? That's the test of time, right? The fact that the world knows lots of things that he's written and can whistle it down the street. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We want to ask you about Davide Soliani, who's your collaborator on the Mario and Rabbids games, and Bradley and the Badger. And just from the outside, we've met Davide, we know him, we love him, but it seems like you two are really kindred spirits. And I'm wondering, like, did you have a moment maybe early on working on Mario and Rabbids where it's like, yeah, I like this guy, I can work with him?
We're friends.
Honestly, I think from the word go, like me and Davide really hit it off from the word go. The first meeting we had in Paris, like, he's just been staying, we stayed at my house when we went to the Games Award for the Bradley thing. Like, I love Davide to death. I really do. And it's when after leaving Rare, I really thought I'm not ever going to feel that passion ever again, like to that level, because it was so special. But working with the Ubisoft Milan and Davide in particular, and that team, they've got that. They really have. Like all the core team that left Ubisoft to form Day for Night Studios that are doing the Bradley game. That's all the guys that have got that absolute Nintendo passion. And Davide's such a likable man. I know we bicker all the time, and it's in a good-hearted way. But he's such a likable person. Well, it's like he's super likable, and he's just, you can't not want to work hard for him. That's how you do it. Just be nice, right? And I just think he's a genius. Like when you think he had to come up with the Mario Rabbids demo to show Mr. Miyamoto personally in San Francisco in 3 weeks, right? So he put that demo together in Unity to show and sit there with Mr. Miyamoto and say, I've got this idea for Mario game. I mean, could there be a worse scenario than that?
It really can't be a more nightmarish scenario.
I know. And Mr. Miyamoto just sat there like, all right then, son, let's see what you've got, like crazy. So,
oh boy.
I know, yeah. So now Davide, I love him to bits. I mean, yeah. And I've got to say, I'm not exaggerating. All that team they're a really good, and lots of that team, they're a really great bunch of people. Just all of them, and they're all got that similar Rare-esque Mickey taking sense of humour where they take the piss out of each other all the time, And I feel like that's the really British way. It's a Rare way, and it kind of bleeds into the game, And I feel like that's why the Rabbids games have got such humour, because it just comes from the team, right? And I just think that they've all just got that. So it's Davide. Obviously, I don't want to. You don't let Davide hear this, I don't. But he is absolutely fantastic, and I went to stay with him a couple of years ago. We on WhatsApp all the time. It's just constant insults back and forward. It never ends, So I feel like I've been really lucky to meet Davide and the team and those bunch of guys, because they're really great. I mean, really fit together super well. They've got the pick of any composer they want to have, because they're super experienced, but they seem to use me. I don't know why, but we get on great. He's a super nice guy.
We have a question mentioning Mario Rabbids from community member Gartooth. For Mario and Rabbids, I really enjoyed listening to your arrangement of Peach's Castle.
Right.
Are there any other classic game soundtracks or pieces of music that you would jump at the chance to make a new arrangement of? Also, I'm sure you've been asked to do this many times, but can you please say, "Oh, banana"?
So it has to go, "Oh, banana."
Yes.
But you have to pitch it down a little bit, because I pitched it down in software so it sounds deeper. So I can't quite get the proper DK voice, because I can't go that low. So like, cool. Awesome. or when he fought.
Oh my goodness.
That's so good.
Like doing Peach's Castle was amazing. Like the chance to get to, because when we first got the N64s from Nintendo, because I think they all got a free one actually. I think the first game they all got was Mario 64, of course, and the Mario Castle. That tune is just like unbelievably fantastic. And they said when I got the chance to use that on Peach's Castle, I was like, "You're kidding!" Like to do it with live orchestra, that was just amazing. So I was super flattered that I got to do that. And like I know Mr. Kondo was happy with it, so that was nice to hear. So yeah. So, but honestly, if I got the chance to touch anything Zelda, that would be my dream come true. Like. I don't know what I could do to it. I don't know how I can make it any better because I don't think it's possible to make it any better than it already is. But that, I mean, that is just the best tune of all time. And like, I don't know what I could do with it. I'd have a go, but I don't know what I could do with it. But to get to touch that would be amazing. Yeah, it would be spectacular.
Yeah. Play it backwards, like in Skyward Sword.
Something. Yeah.
And it still sounds good.
Yeah. I know. I probably.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. I just feel like you'd be scared of ruining it. It's so good.
Yeah. Iconic stuff.
There's been so much talk lately about how, like, boy, these game consoles now are a lot more complicated than they used to be. It's almost impossible to make a game. Has the act of creating music for games gotten a lot harder as time has gone on and you just have more technology available to you? So
I feel like I write music the same way I did from day one I started at Rare. I just literally, you load up a sample, a violin, a clarinet, whatever, a synth patch, and just try and find some chords that you like or a tune that you like. And it's no different to this day. I'm not a very intellectual composer, I'm afraid. So, and also I just get to write music now. So I just write music and have a stereo wave and send it off, right? And then they deal with it. Or I might send off the individual stems, and they can separate it out and do what they like with it. So, so back at the day at Rare, I was responsible for, doing all the integration part. I mean, not the actual programming part, but kind of getting it to all work, so I'd know what was going on and compressing stuff and finding samples and all putting it into the machine. That was all part of our job at Rare, and we did all the sound effects too. Back in those days, you get a game each. So you did all the sound effects, all the music. That was that's how it went. These days, you just do music. So I feel like we can use these great huge sample libraries now. With the sample of the entire orchestra, it sounds amazing, right? So like in Mario Rabbids. Not all those games are live orchestra. It's kind of maybe a quarter live and the rest like sample libraries on both the Rabbids games. So but it sounds amazing. People can't often tell the difference. So that's great. But I feel like you have to make it sound great. You're almost up against pop artists who that whole. Right. I don't know if you know the whole mastering process, but mastering is this thing where they try to make things sound louder and louder and louder by compressing it. You take the peaks off, turn it up. Take the peaks off because you get this, waveforms naturally really spiky, isn't it? When you see a waveform, so you compress the peaks down so it gets blacker and blacker and thicker, blacker, and you can turn it right up. That's how people master things. So it's like they call it the loudness wars these days. So that's all part of the whole thing. It's everywhere now. So everyone's trying to make the tracks louder by using compressors and limiters and things like that to make it sound. So I've had to learn to do that, which I didn't have to do before. So I still feel like when it comes to using a live orchestra, I'll go to an orchestrator and they'll generate the parts. I don't have to do that because I've not got the time to do that. So that seems to be the same. But maybe at some point it's going to be right. Yeah, we're not paying for that. You're doing that. So I don't know if that's going to change. I feel like you have to keep learning. Like, even though I'm an old gimmer that I am, you've got to keep learning stuff because you're going to get left behind. And I think one of the beauties of being a staff composer at Rare was you had an IT guy to go, it's not working, you fix it, and now it's like, where's the IT guy? Oh, it's me, right? I've got to fix it when it goes wrong. So I think it keeps your brain going and it keeps you trying to learn new stuff. So I've learned quite a lot of new stuff in the last 4 or 5 years. But I think the basics of how I write music is just the same. It's no different.
Something you've talked about recently that really connected with us is like video game music today is pretty different than it used to be. And a lot of it's not so catchy and it's not so memorable. Like
atmospheric.
It's more about building a mood and an atmosphere. Like, do you worry about like, gosh, in 30 years, like, will we remember any of this stuff at all? Or
will we hum the Zelda song in 30 years? Yeah.
I got to say that's my pet rant. You've lit the fuse now. You say I'm going to rap. No. I mean, I think
let's go.
Do it.
no, but I really feel like that whole, you know, I come up against it. I've done some movie stuff, right, and I come up against it time and time again. Where they're like, you know, don't want any melody here. Keep it basic. I don't want to detract from the action. And I'm a bit like, you know, mate, if the music's going to detract from the scene, you need to write a better scene, right? You know, it shouldn't. The music is there to enhance it, to make it. It's, you know, the pictures tell you the story, but the music tells you how to feel. Happy, sad, scared. That's in the music, right? It's right there. Take the music away, you don't feel it as much, you know. And you know, there's that video of that guy going around the street with a mic saying, you know, can you sing Star Wars? Can you sing Darth Vader's theme? Can you sing Harry Potter? Whatever, and they can all do it. Can you sing The Avengers? That's actually a bad example because I think I can remember that one. Can you sing Thor or whatever? And nobody can. Can you sing Spider-Man? No. It's like, well, why can't you? The Marvel franchise is bazillion dollars. Like, they should be full of tunes that everybody can remember. Like, all that kind of classic 80s, 90s stuff that John Williams did, everyone knows it from the day they're born. It's like, it's just built in, right, to human beings, right? And like, it doesn't mean you have to have wall-to-wall melody everywhere. You just have to have it at the right moments. You know, so like, you know, when there's a big Star Wars battle, it's got John Williams writes very complex orchestral music. It's all over the place. But when Darth Vader pops up, it's right there with da 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 da. Away again. Da 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 da. You know, we're not asking for much. You know, I feel like it's just, for me, it's essential to have. You know, there's a reason that Lady Gaga or whoever is number one is there, because they've probably written a tune that everybody can remember. They can whistle on the way to work in the morning, whatever. That's what it's about. Like, how many ambient tracks get to number one? Never. There's never been one ever. I can't think of anyone. You know, it's like, people just remember the tunes. They don't remember the chord sequences. They don't remember the chord, you know, because... So it just massively annoys me that you hear that, oh, we don't want it to detract from anything. It's like, it doesn't have to. You just have to have it in the right moments. And I do feel like video games, I felt like they were the last bastion of like saving melody, but I'm not convinced. I feel like it's even getting into video games these days, where you're not getting the tunes that you used to get. So I don't know. I mean, like, you know, I say Toby Fox writes great tunes in Underworld, right? Not Underworld, Undertale. You know, like, you know, people remember all that stuff. My son loves the Undertale soundtrack. My daughter's got the double vinyl, which he plays all the time.
Yeah.
Minecraft's got even, it's pretty ambient, it's got a lot of tunes in it. You know, so I just feel like, why wouldn't you want to write a tune? Why wouldn't you ask for a tune? Ask for a melody that people can remember. And I keep hearing, oh, it's coming back. I haven't heard it. I mean, you've got to think about, what are the big movie scores that you from the last few years that you remember the tune of? I mean, name it. I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything.
No, I can't. I mean, you know, I look at Marvel. I mean, there's a reason why you can remember the Avengers, and, you know, it's because it's by Alan Silvestri, who wrote Back to the Future. Right. You know, he's an old composer who writes great tunes, right? That's why you remember that one. Some of the rest of them, you can't remember any of them. So, because I think sometimes you get these young directors who want to make a mark and say, yeah, I want to make it different. But I don't know. I just feel like it's for all the wrong reasons somehow. Mm-hmm. I just feel like having a tune to hang something on, just when you come out the movie theatre or put the game down, you whistle the tune. How great is that? And when you hear that tune, it takes you back to that, you know, that level. I remember that level with that tune. Wasn't that fantastic? You know, when you've got like an ambient thing going on, you probably can't remember. You know, you can't remember it. So
I can't wait to hear the catchiest tune you're going to write for Bradley the Badger.
I've tried my best. Davide thinks I've done it, but let's see what everyone thinks when it comes out. So, and I've tried to write in a banjo-esque style. That's got my camera bobbles on time in a banjo-esque style. So I feel like it's in there. Who knows if I've still got it? I don't know.
That was one of our favorite reveals at the Game Awards. Was Bradley the Badger. It was just like such an amazing surprise, and it was very like it was like right away we knew this looks like something from Davide Soliani, and then this sounds like something from Grant Kirkhope. Like, what's happening right now? Right. And then of course we get to the end, and they, you know, the confirmation of who was working on this was incredible. But I feel like Bradley's, because I feel like at the Games Award there was a sea of like very similar games. You know, oh my gosh, yes,
hack and slash or shooter, or they're all that stuff, and so I felt like Bradley was a bit of a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely.
You know, and no one really knows what it's about yet. So it's cool that people are speculating about the live action bit. Then what's that all about? Why is Evan Peters in there? What's going on with him? All that stuff that no one knows that right now. So it's going to be cool when it all finally comes out. I hope.
So excited.
Yeah. So, and as I say, David is a genius. I think he is. Like, to still come up with original ideas after all these years in video games, that it's hard. And to give Mario and all the gang guns, who would have thought that would have been good? And to put them with the Rabbids, who would have thought that would have worked? Everyone that heard that idea prior to the relaunch, because it got leaked really badly, people were going to say, this is a ridiculous idea. Mario and the Rabbids is never going to work. But once you saw it, it's fantastic. It's perfect, isn't it? And, so it was demoralizing for the team to get so much negativity. But on that day when, David got up and cried, and I was just sat next to, it was just such a special moment, and I feel like Bradley, I think it's got it in there. So I'll just wait till everyone thinks about it when it finally comes out, whenever that is.
Amazing.
Well, we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to bumping the GoldenEye pause music in 2065 when that's the only music left.
That's right. When that's the only music left. It's not bad.
No,
way to go.
Not a bad choice. Thank you. This was incredible.
Yeah.
No, thanks for asking. It's very kind of you to want to chat.
Yeah, we had a great time. Thank you so much, and we'd love having you on the show.
Yeah, no, it's nice to get the old bloke out now and then, isn't it? So here I am. So no, it's very kind of you to want to chat. So no, it's been good fun.
Hey, we're back.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Grant.
What a great conversation.
What a doll.
Yeah.
I just love him. That was great.
So many, I can't believe how many topics we covered there.
I know.
It's like, we really hit on some stuff.
He really surprised us with that kazoo. And then I like the Donkey Kong voices that he did. That was so good.
Made Gartooth's day.
Oh made my day. Made my day. I loved it.
Maybe that's a life tip. Keep a kazoo on hand. You never know. It's attention getting.
It is.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap up with one more question from our Patreon community from Frulio. Mario and Bowser's New Year's resolutions were posted to NOA's Facebook account back in 2016. Who came up with these, and how on brand do you think these are today? So I can't believe these. Here's Mario's resolutions. Donate old overalls, learn to quadruple jump, save more gold coins, travel more via warp whistle, and learn to speak Yoshi. And Bowser's are quit fire breathing, adopt a chain chomp, build a bigger castle, defeat Mario, and also defeat Mario.
All caps.
Look at the hit. Look, Mario's are nicely typed out.
And Bowser has like scrawled. Yeah. Viciously scrawled his resolutions.
Pre-2017 was really a vibe.
I know, it was really a vibe. It was like Nintendo's first foray onto social.
But 2016 was not, we were a few years in.
We're a few years in. It's still early days though. Still testing some stuff out.
Listen.
There's no way this is fly.
We had those millennial memers.
We did.
From back in the day, and they kind of...
They were in their bag. Memeing away.
They left kind of early in the Switch generation.
Yeah.
So they were just doing their thing.
They were.
And there were a lot less rules back then. A lot less rules.
There were basically no rules.
You could be fast and loose, and you team up with localization. Hey, localization signed off on this.
Exactly.
It's like, all right.
And then the design team made these. They would make all the graphics. So they literally mocked these up with little Bowser stationery and all that sorts of stuff.
Right. But then once the Switch came out, there was kind of a big reunification of all the global marketing efforts, and it was like, all right, let's stop goofing off. We actually got games. We actually got stuff people care about.
We got things to actually talk, information to actually share with people.
So let's, as they say, lock in, and that's where these things fell by the wayside.
Locked in, but in the most boring way possible.
Oftentimes in a very boring way.
But this is fun.
What would the speculation be if they dropped this tomorrow?
Oh, new Mario 3D.
Quadruple jumping confirmed for new 3D Mario game.
Coming. Oh my god, you can play as Bowser and a chain chomp. Oh my god,
Nintendo Direct imminent as Nintendo teases Mario quadruple jump.
Oh my god.
Check the headline.
Yeah. We're bringing back the warp whistle.
Oh my god.
It would be impossible. Yoshi talks in the next Mario game. The headlines would be unbelievable, right? People would just go completely ape for this. So,
wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't do this anymore.
No.
It's really sad, isn't it? We really lived in a time.
In some ways it is, and in some ways it isn't.
I liked it. I look back fondly on those days because it's never replicable again.
Yeah.
In this day and age, there's no way you can do something like this
No.
anymore. So it was cool that we were living in that era once upon a time and had a chance to have a little fun, have a little giggle.
That's right.
During the day.
Yeah.
You work for a game company after all.
No fun allowed.
Have a little fun.
Hey, have you heard we're on Patreon? We got some cool stuff.
Wow.
Check out the 2026 update video. Check out what we've got coming out. Hammer that discount code, Kit and Krysta,
Yes.
to get 25% off if you want to subscribe.
And that's on monthly and annual memberships.
That's right.
It's a pretty big savings for an annual membership. That's what we've been hearing from people.
Yes, good savings.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
We are also on the socials. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love it if you could subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave us a comment, even if you're watching. Or excuse me, if you're listening.
Whoa.
On audio.
Eyes and ears.
Like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also subscribe over there. Give the podcast a 5-star rating and leave us a written review if you please.
Let's shout out some wonderful
Here we go.
Patreon community members, including some new ones, I think.
Yes.
Starting with Final Boss, Aaron Hash. Aaron Hash
That's what endures.
sent us a lovely message because I put into the video, like, this tier is full.
Unavailable.
Do not try to take the spot. It's filled. The job is filled.
Space is occupied.
And Aaron Hash screenshotting. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm here, baby. And I was like, I love you. You're the best.
Yeah.
I love you. Anyhow, Superstars, Mara Mayhem,
Eigenverse.
Mike Shin,
Ray Eshke.
VGM Life,
Link the Hero of Wins.
Angela Bycroft,
Thomas O'Rourke.
Kyle LaBeouf,
Andrew Uhas.
Shelly,
Crashuri.
Master Discord,
Travis Torline.
Ecolader,
MSN Poke Gamer.
R. Burns,
Kit 10K.
Adrian,
Nathan Clover.
The Shark Among Men,
Rain Tech.
Kiss My Flapjack,
Paul Gale Network.
Cameron.
And Frederick Ulf Conradson.
Wow.
There was a administrative snafu.
On your part.
Are we sure?
Yes.
On somebody's part.
That was yours.
And Cameron,
Take responsibility.
I don't know what happened actually. It's a mystery.
I called you out in Discord.
I was grabbed by the ghoulies.
And you evaporated
Yes.
into a poof of smoke.
Since I've got Grant Kirkhope on the brain, I'm going to say I was grabbed by the ghoulies. Our apologies, Cameron.
You're here now, and we love you. Okay, One Up Club, Aaron Burgundy.
Abdul Al-Jabouri.
Adam, the number 9 door,
Adcool 2000.
age 1000.
Ain Eveleth.
Ali Alejandro,
Alejandro Orozco Borrego.
Andrew Lobo,
Andy Robinson.
Angel 8,
Angie Jojo.
Anthony Kager,
Aristu.
Art 64,
Astrodev.
Awesome 46,
Bino.
Barnstorm,
Bates.
Berserker,
Big and Gamer with a Y.
Blake Mitchell,
Bob Clayton.
Brandon Kavapel,
Brent Dennison.
Brian Decker,
Brovac Novak.
Cashew,
Cedric Benson.
Shadir,
Shelly Squirrel.
Chris Fisher,
Crispy Saurus.
Christopher Lay,
Chunky Conga.
Colleen Finnegan,
Cosmic Titan 718.
Captain Alex,
Sea Roper 17.
Cynical Squid,
Daffers.
Dag DeLeo,
Dallas Gow.
Dally Dinkum,
Dachshund.
Dave Sharp,
Devi P.
Dinkum and Bubblegum,
And Doinko.
Wait, hold on.
Dama Bomb.
Dama Bomb.
Dre.
Sorry. Dr. Saturn,
Dude Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony,
Edwin Makes Games.
Elite Peach,
Espars 50.
Evan Granny Boy,
Fairbound.
Fernie and Jess Forever,
Fox Deploy.
Funky Hand,
Gamer Likes Anime.
Gamer Nerd 78,
Garth the Wolf.
Gartu,
Jeremy.
Gianni,
Gin Wolf.
Guilty Phoenix 42,
H3.
Heyo Jose,
Icon Snake.
Ira Bell,
Iris Marin.
it's your boy J Hob,
Ivancito.
Jay Rando,
Jamison Eisenberg.
James,
Jason Ball 34.
J Bar,
Jeremy Swinnon.
Jim Wakeland,
Joe Encarnacion.
Jonathan Rowe,
John Conboy.
Jordan Hemmerly,
Joris.
Joseph Gunter,
Joshua Clements.
Juji Fruit,
Justin Lemminger.
Jay Wolf,
Kaylin.
Kalen CPU 57,
Carblin.
Kawa 2796,
Kevin Delane.
Kilo Kibo,
Kyle Gamerberry Rookie.
Kyle 325,
Kyle Kretzer.
Kyle R. Smith,
Larry Fitzpatrick.
Lazy Cat for Coffee,
Leah Rao.
Lex,
Link 9898.
Linko,
Litton.
Louise,
Luke Hayabusa Kramer.
Luna B,
Lynn.
Macho Potato,
Mad Dog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G plus Kelly Marie,
Malcolm.
Mario Man 392,
Marky Man 64.
Mary Cohen Colson,
Matt GPT.
Maverick Nate,
Megan.
Maple Theon,
Michael Mazer.
Michael O'Hara,
Michael Wong.
Mikey,
Mikey Macaroni.
Mr. Rhino 7,
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pond,
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Bendu 101,
Mute Dog the Gamer.
My Tran,
Nasir.
Naya Fee,
Nick Bia Reeves.
Nasuchu,
Ninbendo 64.
Ninja 11,
Ninja Black Belt.
One of a Kind,
Oliver Went.
Omega Index Card,
Pangy.
Paper Boat,
Patrice Millette.
Peach Booty,
Pokedigi Fan 20.
Fine Factor,
Prince Charmless.
Punky,
Quintet.
Rowan Kwanov,
Rob M.
Rob O.
Robbie DLC.
Romskin 113.
Rocks.
RT64.
Ryan Haas.
Ryanetta.
Sage Gamer.
Sulkson 20XX.
Scott Seward.
Sebastiano Garase.
Sega.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slowbro.
Shoop.
Schnazzle.
Spacey Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Melancholy.
Stephen Rockoff.
Stuart Radley.
Pseudo Priest.
Switching it up underscore.
Tales of Link.
Tamer rhymes with hammer. Tamer rhymes with hammer. Tamer rhymes with hammer. Tamer and
One
hammer.
of these days. Tandem.
Tay 120 and 64.
TCGN 21P.
Teal Fox 64.
The Hyrule Hero.
The Kagers.
The Quiet One.
The Sir OT.
Thomas Alvarez.
Three Rivers.
Tokens 777.
Tom Shink.
Torcheeks.
Totally Joed.
Totemaru.
Trevor Collins.
Trajowie.
Trajowie! Trevor Collins.
Tugs Puppy Bear.
Tuscoop.
Tyler Geis.
Victor MK. Oh my god.
Vince Victor MK?
Victor MK. They've merged.
Vince Victor.
Vinny to the K.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Waffles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
Zachary S.
Zenda.
Zelgroth.
Zapati.
Zerlink.
And Zroid. Wow. It's going to take us
several weeks.
A little bit of time to warm up.
It's long.
We'll get there.
It's great.
We will get there.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Well, thank you all for being here with us. Hope you enjoyed us chatting with
Big
the
episode.
wonderful
Wow.
Grant Kirkhope. Big episode. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.